Well. We are here, and something happened, guys. Something pretty darn big. The Raiders have a head coach, and I know you know who it is. But you know who knew first? We did. And there was a particular person who is very, very joyous right now and feeling, shall we say, vindicated. I remember this person taking flack from audience members who thought it was insane. I mean, insane. To suggest that old Petey boy, old Pete Carroll, was going to be the head coach. Do you remember that, Black? That there was a time when people thought that was crazy? I remember. But that person is a good old Westradamus right here.
I will now be known as Westradamus, throwing up the W, coming up the whole world, right? Hey, it's a new day. It's a new day and a new dawn for the Raiders and Raiders football going forward. And before I go absolutely crazy on this show, I hope you guys got your chewing gum ready because we're gonna need a lot of chewing gum.
Oh my God, my AP class always got these lectures. The teacher never let us out early.
I'm sorry.
He said sorry.
We have a lot to cover, class.
Hey, what'd you say? You pay for a full days of class? I'm going to give you a full days of class. Your parents would be upset if I sent you to school and I just let you out early all the time, right?
You're going to relish the fact that we take advantage of our time one day.
Right.
All right. May not be anytime soon, but I'm going to end up being your favorite teacher in your 40s. All right. Now, let's settle in, guys. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Where should we start? Should we start with the success? Pete Carroll has been successful at head coaching. I mean, when's the last time the Raiders hired a coach who was previously already successful at coaching? I'll wait. Does anybody have an idea?
I just have to say, I don't want to go, go crazy out track here, but I just want to say, man, when I first heard that news, man, I'm super hyped. And I just got to say, out of all the coaches in the AFC West now, I honestly feel that we don't have the best. We don't have the worst coach in our division now. There's only one coach in the AFC West who I talk highly about. And Hot and I bantered back and forth about this guy, but he don't even have a Super Bowl win. So if you really think about it, guys, in the AFC West, out of the coaches we have, all of them are Super Bowl winners except for one. One's been there, but he couldn't cash it in. And going into the season, we have the pedigree of a coach who can build a culture. He's going to build a foundation. If you want a mansion, you got to build the foundation first, right? And Pete Carroll is going to go in there not scared at all because he beat them all before, And I just feel like this is a turn of a brand new page in a brand new book here where we're doing things the right way here. And I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know exactly when the hiring would be announced, right? But aside from the other coaches in the AFC West here, one thing that I'm really excited for going forward is seeing the battles between Harbaugh and Pete Carroll once again. And I just got to say this: Harbaugh couldn't escape him in the college level. Couldn't escape him in the NFC West, and now he can't escape him in the AFC West.
Oh man,
It's
Pete Carroll just
nonstop,
keeps.
Pete Carroll, and I know right now,
Man.
John Harbaugh. No matter how highly I talk about him, he's punching the air right now. He's like,
He's like,
"Fuck!" He's like,
Pete,
"Fuck!"
man.
You know,
Always
he's like,
Pete
"God
Carroll.
damn it, Pete Carroll." You know, he's like, "I got to deal with that fucking guy again." You know, so I'm happy, man, and I'm gonna just save this part later. So, but yeah, man, I'm fired up, man. I'm super happy, super happy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, make a couple statements. I mean, Pete Carroll is the most decorated, successful head coach the Raiders have ever hired. And that's probably not even a competition. This is very different. Let me just list the Raiders head coaches, okay? We're going to start way back with good old Al. Yeah, Al Davis, AFL Coach of the Year in 1963. Just so you guys know, there's a reason why, as an owner, he meddled, because he was an actual football coach person.
Are we gonna count him though? We can't really.
He
count
counts. Him. He does.
Well, then he'll be the
greatest.
He'll be the greatest then.
That we've ever hired.
Okay. 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 All right.
I did say that on.
That's the caveat. Okay, I was looking for it.
Pete Carroll is one of the greatest hired coaches that we've.
No, I could agree with that.
One of the best coaches we've had, and I had people tell me that, "Oh, you're wrong, Pete Carroll." No, and Hot and I, we've been talking about this way back. I'm telling you guys something, man. We're pretty damn good. I ain't trying to toot my own horn or our horn here, but we've kind of see shit from way back, man. And so all you guys out there who's doubting me or just doubting us in general, hey, look, I ain't hating, but I just want to say I told you so. I told you so.
Pretty much, yeah, that's it. I mean, I came on the show, and my brother from another mother had the same idea, and I was like, yeah, this is happening. It's just a matter of time.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I said I don't want Phil Jackson to be our coach.
You did say that.
Yeah, well, we got Phil Jackson.
We got Phil.
One thing.
6 championships later. No.
Yeah. So just some facts here, because I like to bring up cool facts and stuff like that. So the Raiders are also making new history here. And when I say new history, class, pay attention here. Eyes up at the teacher talking here. All right. So look, we always have been trendsetters in making history. Who was the first minority coach? Tom Flores. Who was the first black head coach? Art Shell. Who was the first girl in the front office? Amy Trask. Who was after that? Sandra Douglas. And today, guess who hired the oldest coach in coaching history? Raiders did it again, a la Pete Carroll.
We're not ageist. So, he's the oldest coach. But it's okay.
Because if you look at some of the greatest world leaders, they are into their 80s, like Trump, right? Is that what he said?
And I'm just waiting for all the comments or all the. I'm waiting for you guys to say something about his age or who's going to be his successor and all that, because I got something in the chamber.
Oh wow!
In the barrel, ready. So don't make me pull it out now.
I ain't worried about that man age. Just as long as he don't start falling on the sideline while he running the team down the huddle, I'm cool.
What a novel idea, Jared says. We have a head coach who's actually a head coach.
It feels
Crazy.
great,
Matter
right?
of fact, talking about that other Harbaugh that just got that hip surgery, he was looking like he was having a hard time getting back and forth.
Yep, it's all that stress and not enough.
He went to go get that surgery on his hip though.
Pete Carroll was the best option available. We're going to need to hire solid OCs, that type of shit.
I strongly agree with that comment.
Was he the best?
I strongly agree with that comment.
If Belichick wasn't available, kind of.
And he was off the table. But
I mean, if we just look at head-to-head record against, I know who you're talking about. His Super Bowl was with someone else's roster, so there's a little bit of a.
That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You still won it. You still got to win.
He stole Tony Dungy's. No,
you still got to win the game. He still was the one. He still was the one saying, when Rich Gannon pump fake this way, defense run that way. That's what he was the one telling them that.
Yes, that's true.
Dudgy didn't tell him that.
He had the keys to the Super Bowl itself, the actual game.
Yeah. No, but
getting there.
I'm not against the old guy. I'm pro old guy, actually.
Yes, I know.
Because don't sleep on the old guys, because they know. You know what I'm saying? They know. Hey, did y'all see the tweet about Max Crosby that just came out?
No, what's up?
Oh, y'all didn't see it?
No, missed it. What's up?
Oh my God. Y'all gotta go see it. I'm sorry, it just flashed in my mind what he said. Y'all gotta go. Hold on.
Who and what?
I think this is right though. We're gonna get prime time versus the Chargers, big time. That's happening because they're gonna want to do that match again.
We got the wrong prime time.
So Sunday night or Monday night. Yep, I think so.
Oh, it's facts. And I wouldn't doubt it if our game
look who's here. Look who's here. Hey, VBZ. What's up, VBZ? It's VBZ, right? See,
what's
up? What
up?
happened was VBZ was like, he old and stuff, and then he got the coach and stuff. So, yeah. Yes, we are championing. Age is called experience. One day you'll have enough of it to understand. Yep. Oh boy. Yeah, we did it all, baby. We did it all.
Yeah, that was some, facts, I had to just share. You know what I mean? We are trendsetters. We do shit that nobody else does. And sometimes we do things that nobody else does in a good way too, So there's pros and cons, to that.
Yeah. Guys, I mean, I just want to talk about one thing. Having a head coach who already knows how to coach and stuff means that we're not behind the 8 ball trying to train someone on the job. He's going to hit the ground running. He has a system. He has pull. He has tons of experienced, viable assistants. Probably already on the phone, right? He tends to staff extremely well. People like working for Pete. And they come back multiple times.
They do.
Great coaching tree.
Yep. Wait, I think there was a team who was the yep. Quinn. You got Dan Quinn out there. Who's he working with right now? I wonder.
Yeah.
Right? But if I was looking at something, and I give you credit, absolutely give you credit, but I have to give credit to the person who got me on this train that day, that fateful day way back in some other era, when people thought that Pete Carroll could not possibly be the head coach. And that was my buddy Chris. Chris, Seattle man. Damn you. I love that man's face. So
So
listen.
so last year when we were going through our whole coaching search, when before we signed the deal with Antonio Pierce, right after Harbaugh, Pete Carroll was the second guy, and so I've been going back to this, since like last season, and I'm just ready for things to get going the right way, because now it feels like the training wheels are off and we're doing things the right way now, and you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it from day one. Like once that guy's in there and he's around the roster talking to players, that guy knows how to get players playing at the top level of their game.
Mm-hmm. How to have them mentally focused, but not the like Patriot way, which is like very like rigid and mean and sucks your soul away. But like a California dude's way, man. You know,
He's
it's just
a player's coach, but he doesn't take no shit either. But he's fair. He's fair, and it doesn't matter where you were drafted, how much cash you have, how good you think you are. If he thinks that you're the guy to start for our team and you give us the best chance to win, then that's what he's gonna do.
and that's every week. You have to win your job on Wednesday. So that's a thing. And he doesn't have to make you do it because he makes you think it was your idea in the first place. If you think that the way his coaching staff is out of date, I posit this to you. What about the Washington Commanders? Do you want to know how many former players and coaches are over at the Commanders right now? I know you know Bobby Wagner's over there. But he's not the only one. He's the most famous one. The wide receiver coach is Bobby Ingram. He played for the Seahawks. Larry Izzo is over there, former coach for the Seahawks. Daryl Tapp is the D-line coach. Didn't Daryl Tapp? Yep, Daryl Tapp played for the Seahawks. Who's the linebacker coach? Ken Norton Jr. I know you know he coached for the Seahawks. I could keep going. I really could. There are other players and coaches all up and down the Commander staff who coached under Carroll or in his tree. So, the Commanders pretty good, huh? Pretty good defense. I noticed that they were showing that good defense thing. So, do you think that maybe if Pete Carroll's former assistants have evolved their scheme and Pete Carroll took a year off, what do you think he was doing during that year?
I don't know what the hell he was doing, but he better win next year.
I'm going to posit that he was developing that scheme. Because you know what you can't do when you're coaching? Learn to be a better coach.
Yeah.
So I took a year off, and I'm going to bet that when people were like, oh, man, that cover 3 is out of date and doesn't know what he's doing, it's just too old, it can't work. He was like, here, hold my beer. Because you know what? My dad says a really wise thing. Football is football. Football is football. It don't change. Did they like, is there less players on the field? Is it a longer field? Is it wider? What did they do that changed the whole game so much that football is no longer football. People who are good at coaching and drawing up plays for the football, they're going to be good at that when they're 80 or 50 or whatever, because X's and O's are just they're X's and O's. So, miss me with the he's too old to coach. As long as he can get up and down the sideline, as long as he's playing scout team quarterback, I think we're good.
Absolutely, man. And for all the Pete Carroll haters who say, well, who's going to be the successor after him, right? Stop. Take a second to breathe. The man has not even coached one game yet. Let's focus at what he's going to do at the task at hand. And then we'll worry about his successor after, because he signed a 3-year deal with an optional 4th-year team contract, right? And I'm not even thinking 3 years down right now. I'm focused on this first season that he has, and I'm confident that he will have a successor by the time he's gone, right? But before we even go down that route, let's focus on right now. And let's not focus on who he's going to bring in and all that, because that just makes me sound like you're just trying to pick at every little thing to just hate on him. You know, well, okay, he's too old. Okay, well, they had good answers on that. So then, well, how about after 3 years is up? You know, like find something else, man, because I hear a lot of podcasters too, you know, and they're like, well, he's too old, blah, blah, blah. Just bring back, some old retired coach like Jimmy Johnson, you know, like I've heard that kind of shit. And it's like, man, like you can't reach up in the apple tree when there's oranges right in front of you. And it's stop trying to be so picky. And if you are a Pete Carroll hater, just give him a chance and see what he does with his team. You're going to see a 9-day difference between Antonio Pierce and Pete Carroll. And it's going to be a blessing. It's going to be a blessing. It's going to be refreshing. And it's going to take so I don't know about y'all, but with me, I got a huge weight that just lifted off of my shoulders. And we got a good GM. We got Pete Carroll, and you don't have to like him. You don't have to enjoy, you know, him, right? But the whole point is that if you're a Raider fan, like we all are, I didn't like Antonio Pierce when we hired him, right? But that was our coach, so I rocked with him. Because that's our coach. So I don't know why you guys can't do the same thing. You know what I mean? Hey, if you don't like him, hey, it's cool. But when he does take us to the playoffs and when he's doing good, don't come back around saying, oh, you know, I don't want to hear that shit.
That's right. Because we finally have a functional, not fictional, but functional. I got your typo number. No problem, man. Football operation from front office to coaching staff to game day management. Finally.
Wait, we only got one coach. How you know we got a good coaching staff? Wait, we only got one coach.
Wait. Are you saying that you think Pete Carroll is not going to have a good staff?
No. What I'm saying is, as we stand right now, you can't make that statement that we don't know who it is.
I think he's assuming he's going to have a good staff like he always does.
I'm going to just say one thing on that is that Pete Carroll has so many ties and connections to great staff in the NFL, and he has more outlets and more resources than other coaches, and he's on good terms with them. And I'm not even tripping about who, because I have so much faith in this hire, and I know that he's going to make the right call, whoever that person is. So
okay, all right. Yay, Pete Carroll's our daddy. We're going to Disneyland.
Okay, all right. I see you.
No, we ain't going to Disneyland. We going to Magic Mountain.
He's gonna make the Raiders great again.
Hey, you gonna make you gonna make the Raiders gangster again? You gonna do that?
Probably not that part.
Oh, I was curious. I'm just asking. I just want to know the lefts and the rights to this, so I know what to expect. Because, hey,
That's it. That's right.
I'm not. No, you can read the comment, but I was just saying, like, the thing about it with me with these Raiders is they don't have the luxury for me to give them the benefit of the doubt of anything. I don't know why y'all don't even understand that. Like even just this offseason, the way they move. Granted, they've been moving in a good way. I've been giving their flowers along the way. Like what's his name on Coming to America. I've been giving the Raiders their flowers the whole time. Yeah, y'all doing it right. Y'all got, like I said, you win championships from the top down, not the player up. You know what I'm saying? So y'all getting it right. Tom Brady, okay, cool. Then y'all got Belichick, cool. Now y'all got a coach, cool. Now what we gonna do with the O coordinator? Then what we gonna do with the D coordinator? You know what I'm saying? Then we can make that statement. To me, I get that y'all trust it. I trust it, but hey, I'm just not giving the Raiders that much juice like y'all doing. I'm just saying. I'm not hating. I'm just saying they ain't got that leverage with me because I know how they be. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, and I just got to say, I don't want Pete Carroll to turn the Raiders into gangsters or, what up, Pizzle?
Oh, goodness.
I ain't trying to be gangsters.
I didn't mean that literally.
I just want to be a professional football team that plays hard on every single snap until the final freaking whistle is blown. You know what I mean? I don't care about that gangster shit. I don't care about that gangster shit.
I didn't mean that.
No. I ain't saying you. No. I'm just saying.
No, we just mean
I pointed fingers at you, brother.
No, that's
he
cool.
means gangster, like as in good. Yeah.
I mean, like if we go to the playoffs like in 2 years and then we kicking in the door and be like, that's gangster. We ain't gotta play gangster. I'm just saying, like.
What I meant by that is I point to Antonio Pierce. What did he try to do?
I never even bought into that. I don't even know what he was talking about. Yeah, I never listened to him when he talk like that. I'd be just like
6'4" Impala, I'm from Compton and all that stuff, man. Get that, hey, put a trash bag on him and take him out. Because he's garbage. You
can only act like that when you winning in the league and you really can't nobody stop you.
Want to act all games, dude. I want to be a silent killer professional, a silent assassin.
I can go with that.
You don't have to like it, VBZ.
I'm not opposed to that.
Hey, you don't have to. You don't have to. And trust me, I ain't trying to change your mind. So I hope
we need some
people to change your mind.
VBZ, keep that energy. Because if you
don't. I ain't gonna. Hey, look. Yeah, keep the energy because I'm with you. I'm not 100% sold yet because, like I was telling people, I gotta see the rest of the staff first before I can even make my judgment about anything. Because I need to see the staff first, right? Because I don't think Pete Carroll, and this is the difference between Raider panels is I can't say that Pete Carroll wasn't high on these two people list, but on most people list he wasn't a high pick. Like to me, I think he was a mid higher. Considering what was left, okay, you can say cool, but I'm thinking I don't know. I think we could have got somebody a little bit better. Well, I guess I say Gruden, right? I guess that's what I'm getting to. So I think I don't know why he didn't want to come back. If it couldn't have been because of the money, because they was willing to give Buddy all the money. So I don't know what happened right there, but I guess he would be the second best hire, I guess, in the situation. I guess.
Okay.
Other than Dion.
I just got to say that this hiring here, I am just as excited or not as I'm sorry. I'm as excited or even more excited than when we hired Gruden back for the second time. So that's how I feel.
Wow.
With this hire right here.
Me too.
And that speaks volumes because I love Gruden too, man. I love Gruden.
Me too.
Wow.
You know, I'm just being honest.
Because I worried about Gruden's
That's
draft
nice.
when we brought him back. And the
Yeah, I
draft
wasn't
was
talking
not great.
about literally gangster. I forgot. I forgot that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's see. His stick believes the same thing, right? As long as you put this solid staff together, right? VBZ wants to know if there's an out in the contract if you get too old.
So I was at work when these guys were on the live,
Uh-oh.
and you were just
Here it
hating on
comes.
old people. So now I just think you just really hate old people, man.
Here
You
it,
just
here it
dislike.
comes.
You don't like old people, huh? Oh man, hey, look, you're entitled to your opinion, right?
But that's a legitimate question, though, man. Like you don't know when you hit that wall when you in that age. I'm telling you, you don't. I don't think it's gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody asks, I gotta treat it just like any other piece of information. Is it legitimate? Is it a legitimate claim? Yeah, it's a legitimate claim because we just saw. You know what I'm saying? We just saw it happen. You feel
I'm
me?
so confident. I'm so confident and so solid in the next 3 years that he will be here. Dude, this guy could coach, and I'm being honest here. So he's gonna turn 74 this season, right? I could honestly see him coaching for at least 5 years, dude. At least like 5 years, 6 years,
Ben, you
dude.
can hop on.
Yep.
How old is he?
He'll be 73 now, and by the time the season starts, he'll be 74.
I don't know. I don't know what brother capacity is, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because it's not like we dealing with the typical 73-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not playing shuffleboard and doing bingo. This man is like running a NFL team at a high level, so he know what he's doing. So, like, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. And if he get to tripping, we'll see it. Trust me. If he start calling timeouts like AP, then come back and make those comments.
He will never, dude. Oh man, this guy will manage a game 1,000 times better than Antonio Pierce.
Dude,
a million times better. A million times, man.
He's just never gonna make that mistake. Like come on, man.
This guy.
Mentor needs the link. Want me to send him the link?
I just sent it to him.
He is not.
You good? You got it.
Hey, so Pete Carroll is not your average 73-year-old man out here. He's not.
He's not.
Look at other grown men that are his age, and then compare them to Pete Carroll. You know what I mean? Like this guy. He's 73, but he acts like he's like 63. You know what I mean? And look, I'm just saying that I've been saying this for a long time, and I'm just so happy that it finally happened. And I said a text earlier. So last night at 2:23 a.m., I never go on Twitter, but I went on Twitter and I said, you know what? Fuck it. I went out there and I posted a tweet to Tom Brady, the Raiders, and Pete Carroll. And I said, please make the announcement that Pete Carroll will be the head coach tomorrow. What happened? They saw my fucking text and they fucking made it happen, you know?
Yes, they did. And
Tom's phone rang, you know, and he's like, oh shit, hey, this fucking guy right here, you know?
Who's this guy right here? Who's this guy? Huh?
This fucking guy.
This fucking guy here, huh? Who do you think he is?
Yeah, man. But so look, I don't know about the other podcasters you watch, but I've been on the Pete train for a long time now, man, and I'm high as shit. You know this guy.
Let me answer this right here because I'm crazy people.
Go ahead.
Because first of all, like my brother say, we respect everybody's opinions in the whole nine, right? Mm-hmm. No matter how left or how right they are, you know what I'm saying? Like you can even say they're crazy or stupid or whatever. That's fine. I'm gonna take what you say with a grain of salt. Just take what I say with a grain of salt too. That's all I ask. And so that first statement, Gruden is not an upgrade for any team. Okay, let's start with that first statement. Well, from what I understand, Gruden upgraded our team every time he coached for our team. Like I don't know if I'm accurate in that statement or not, but I'm pretty sure I am. So he would be an upgrade for the team. So right there, that statement sounded a little pointed. Let me use the word pointed. It's pointed. You know what I'm saying? And then Gruden's responsible for the lack of the depth of this current roster. I would agree with that. He missed on so many top picks. I would agree with that. A lot of teams do that. A lot of coaches do that. But I would agree with that statement, though. It's crazy people keep bringing him up. First of all, we wouldn't be bringing this up if he was still the coach, if the NFL didn't intervene with the Raiders. He would still be our coach. So I don't know how that like part of the hippocampus came out of your brain and you forgot about that. Like, so I don't know how is that so crazy for me to bring up Gruden? I can understand you might not like Gruden to be your coach. I get it. I ain't even mad at that. I'm just saying, my whole thing about Gruden was this. Not that I necessarily thought he was the best coach for us. It's the mere fact that we had an agreement with him. He was doing some things. The NFL tried to knock him off, and I felt like the best way for us to give the NFL a fuck you is if we get Gruden back, and then we push the issue. But that's just how I want to see it. So, as crazy as that may be, that's what it is.
Yeah, and I just gotta, say off that too. So I'll just say, like right now, for one coach right now, who's fired, but I would take John Gruden over Brian Dable all day, and there's other coaches too, who I feel like Gruden would be a perfect fit for that team. So I don't agree with the point you're saying that he's not good over any other coaches in the NFL. You probably just don't like, Gruden. Hey, that's cool, right? But he ain't like a terrible coach. And thank you, Hot, for showing that in the background. I saw that earlier. That was my text earlier that showed that I was speaking facts, on two where I sent that tweet out last night. And once I sent out that tweet, shit started rolling,
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. Does this feel like a rational or irrational hire? Well, hiring a head coach who's been successful at head coach feels sort of rational, unlike
I don't know. Hey,
some other choices.
Hey, V. Hey, you're cool, man. But hey, man, you trolling right now, man.
He really does not like old people.
Hey, you're close to getting the smackdown laid on you, bro. You're about to go in the center ring and get the most electrifying move in sports entertainment history.
Have you ever thought about the fact that you were one?
Oh man, I'm just fucking with you, man. So here on this channel, my term of saying you're going to be unceremoniously blocked is you getting the people's elbow. I'm going to start saying I'm about to slam you in the center of the ring and set you up for the most electrifying move.
Take it off first. Take that off. Take the pad off. That's really
about to do the whole
back and forth, like people's elbow, buddy. The weakest finishing move of any great wrestler ever, but also somehow still very popular. It's very weird. Very, very weird. Yes, John was John's biggest problem. I agree. Well, no, he was the second biggest problem. I have to say the NFL was John's biggest problem. If you add up, I don't know, the Tuck rule and being hunted by the commissioner, those two things really kind of hurt his whole thingy with being a coach and stuff.
And then look, he was starting to turn things around too. But then what happened? You know, the emails came out, Ruggs and all that shit was starting to look really good for us, man. And you know, things just didn't pan out in favor, and it's, you know, sucks. But hey,
I have to address this one. 73 is super old these days. Question. How did 73 get older than it was before? I mean, I've heard people talk about how we are better at medicine and therefore life expectancy and quality of life has gone up. I've never heard anyone say that as modernity has kind of advanced, that age is older nowadays. Please explain this to me and your theory, because I feel like 73 is younger than it used to be.
definitely
Because of medicine and diet and things like that.
absolutely.
You know, we have someone who actually abides by that stuff. So, but
Look, hey, and
Mr.
I brought
Coach.
this up 1,000 times too. Now look, Reed is 66 years old, right? Pete Carroll is in better shape than all the coaches we have in the AFC West right now, man. Like this guy is, look, he's old, but he's freaking healthy, man. He's freaking healthy as shit. He's super healthy. So I don't understand how people keep saying, "Oh, he's old, he's old, he's old." It's like you're really just trying to find a, you know, a like way to like hate on him, or you're trying to have us change, you know, our opinion or something. Look, I don't know what your point is, man, but
why two things can't be true at the same time? They both can be true at the same time.
What's
Like
that?
73 is old. Let's not act like it ain't. But at the same time, Pete Carroll is probably the outlier to that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody fits into a. He's not the majority of like 73-year-olds. Like I said, he's out coaching an NFL team. Like he gets on the plane, he goes to meetings, he get up early in the morning, he has a regiment. Like most 73-year-olds probably ain't even doing all of that. They probably sitting there watching Price is Right still. You know what I'm saying?
Gunsmoke, cowboy movies, black and white. I love Lucy.
Let's
you know.
Let's get one more opinion on this. Let's get somebody who is an absolute gem, a Raider fan, and someone who I am very happy decided to come on the show.
Come on down. You're the next contestant.
Raider Twan. What's up?
What's
brother?
up, my guy? What's up, bruh? Good to see you, man.
Let's see. Hopefully we're getting through good. Can you hear us? We're having some technical difficulties. Hold on a second. All right. So
yeah, man, age, you know, like all that, man. Just stop it. Get some help. Seek help. No, look. All the people that I know that is that age. Okay, look, it is an old age, right? Look, that's okay. Facts is facts, right? But how does your body and how do you feel? And you know, at the age of 73, and look, I'll be honest here. My pops is 73 years old, and he's not in as good shape as Pete Carroll. You know, and I'm being absolutely brutally honest. You know, and there's other, you know, old men out there that are the same age, right? And they can't walk. They have a oxygen tank. They can't drive anymore. Their eyesight's gone. They're blind out of one eye. You know, like, come on.
Take care of yourself, people.
You can't coach. You can't coach up. You blind in one eye. Dang, is that bad?
He was just saying like that.
I'm just playing. Let's read the comment.
Making me feel blind people and stuff.
No, I think he'll be just fine. Like we're not overreacting about it, but I think he'll be fine. And we can, like I said, if we can survive Sleepy Joe, we'll be fine. Trust me.
I knew he couldn't resist it. I knew it was coming.
I couldn't resist it.
I let you get away with an allusion to it earlier. Okay.
I was inching my way closer to it. That's all.
I saw you. He was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna take that right there." I saw a wolf do that with a mastiff. It didn't work out well for the wolf.
So Jared says 98 to 2001 Gruden was great. The second version, not so much. I didn't feel like a third time was necessary. Gruden is coach, not bad. Gruden wants to be president of football operations, GM, and head coach.
See, is that
Nobody
true?
did all that.
That. Do we know that though?
No.
You know, I mean, people may speculate that because of the kind of back and forth between him and Al before, but
yeah, he ain't got that leverage now. Like, and plus we had a GM, so I was always good with Gruden coming back as long as we had a GM. You know what I'm saying? As long as we had a GM, I was cool with him coming back.
Which
no GM,
maybe that's why
no GM, not so much. Then it's a toss up between him and Pete Carroll because we do need somebody that's going to establish culture. Because, like I said, if we do bring Pete Carroll in, I'm not paying attention to his wins as much as I'm paying attention to the culture shift. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
We need to demolish everything we got. It ain't that much already. And make sure the foundation is good before we start building skyscrapers and billion-dollar ideas on them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he'll do that at the minimum. So it's a win for us.
Well,
and Pete Carroll's a great. John Gruden is a great coach, man. Look. When I was growing up, watching, like, he was the first coach, Raiders coach, when I was growing up through 7th, 8th grade, high school and all that. He had the Raiders going all cylinders between 98 and 2001. And and that's why I always say he was my favorite, he still is my favorite Raiders head coach that we did hire, man, because this guy is a football genius. I see him talk to, the roster and players, all that. Dude, he knows what he's talking about. But as we all know, when his hands are in drafting, and things, he ain't so great, right? But you take that away from him and just let him solely focus on coaching. He's a freaking genius. He is a genius. Genius.
This is true. This is
Spider,
true.
two-eyed banana. That'll always be in my head. That'll always be in my head.
So yes, this is a great question. Like, you're correct.
Oh, I was waiting for that one. So look, I'll go first here because I am super high on Pete Carroll here. So look,
how many wins do we get next year? Pete is so great.
It wouldn't be fair to me or to Pete Carroll if I were to predict that right now until he assembles his roster. So until he assembles his roster, Hot and I, we always do season predictions going, wins and losses and all that. But I'll just say this right now. It will be more than 4 wins. I guarantee you that.
I was about to say, to be fair, though, there got to be a basement that we expect him not to go under. And for me, it's 5 games. He can't go under 5 games. I mean, we can't lose. I mean, we can't win just really 5 is really pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to win like 6 games for real and not get swept by the division. And I ain't talking about winning 1 game out of 6 games. I'm talking about we need to win at least 2 of them. So it kind of depends, but like you say, it ain't fair because he don't even know who his quarterback is. He don't know how many wins he gonna get.
A great question though. VBZ for CZ.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, yeah, I think we win at least 6 games. I think that I'm going to predict that with Pete Carroll as coach, we do not have double-digit losses ever.
That I could back. I fully back that comment, and I get my Western stamp on that right there. Branded approval right there.
This is Gruden is toast. He'll never coach again. Bet. Okay. I would take that bet, actually.
Yeah, me too. Hey, but
10 coach next cycle.
So it's 17 games, right? So that means we got to win 8 games or more.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
No double-digit losses and repeat. That's my bet.
I agree.
I say
doesn't like the
welcome.
way they
I
look.
say welcome to the Raiders, where shit that ain't never happened to you before about to start happening to you. Watch.
Yeah,
Sorry, Pete Carroll.
it could be true. Absolutely true.
He's gonna
But
walk
you
in
know,
there. He's gonna walk on our field, see the beautiful stadium, the beautiful lights, the no tax, all that, dude. And he's gonna, man. I look. Now I'm just
this
on.
man was positive while living in the city that it rains 9 months out of the year.
Yeah, he's gonna have a freaking blast. He's gonna have fun. He's gonna have a competitive edge, against our AFC West rivals, especially Harbaugh. And I feel look, I can't say this enough time. I'm just fully confident, in this man. I'm just hyped, man.
Yeah. What is this? AP didn't get a chance to win 5 games. AP did not win 5 games. He had a whole season to do that.
So I gotta
Are we
ask
still
you,
talking about AP? Like, why?
BZ, are you one of those Raider fans who wanted Antonio Pierce to be our coach still after all that happened last
I'm
year?
interested.
Look, I didn't like him, just like how you don't like Pete Carroll, right? But I gave him a chance, and I rocked with him because he was our coach, and I support the Raiders as a whole, as in general, right? But once you don't get the job done, then that's when you start basing your full feelings and opinions on him, right? And Antonio Pierce on every level of coaching was just terrible. It was just terrible. There was just one thing he was very good at, and that was selling and hyping out the fans and fooling y'all, saying, "Oh, ill intent, violence, blah 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 blah, 6'4" Impala, rah 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 rah, Mike Singletary 2.0." I've been saying this over and over and over and over, and I'm sorry that the firing of Antonio Pierce broke your heart, but I don't even look. Pierce is done, man. Now that guy will never get a coaching job in the NFL again. I just don't.
Damn.
Look. Now. I feel like Gruden has a better chance of getting a coaching stint
Much better.
than Pierce getting any kind of coaching job in the NFL. Look, there's a lot of people will bring Pierce back as a defensive coordinator. He ain't qualified for a defensive coordinator. He's not qualified, all right? So cut the malarkey,
Position.
man.
He can get a position coach.
Before I set y'all up with the RKO followed by a freaking people's elbow, after that, because I'm tired of it.
That's kind of messed up that his career nosedive like that. Like I said, when you come to the Raiders, bro, that boy career went like this.
Like, he was rising so well,
Dude, because he
high
sold
school
he sold
successful
everybody
successful
on
head coach in high
game.
school. Listen,
It was a Chiefs game. He fooled everybody. I was fooling y'all. That's exactly what he did. He fooled everybody on the Chiefs game, man. And then what? He ran off and the fans, AP. That is where he knew, like, oh shit, like, fuck, like, come on.
They wasn't saying AP. They was saying daddy.
Oh man, Raider Twan, what's up, brother?
Raider Twan, what's going on, man?
Raider Twan, what's up, brother?
Hey,
We got our technicals right.
Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, man, blessings there, man. I've been over some hills and mountains just to get on this show, but I made it, man.
There we go.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
We're very, very happy to have you. So we've been at this for a while. We just want to hear your thoughts as a long-time,
man.
real,
Please.
deep Raider fan. How you feeling tonight? What are your thoughts?
About what specifically, man? Go ahead and shoot the questions,
Pete,
and I'll do
I'm gonna say
my best to try to answer.
Yeah, I would say just Pete Carroll as the new head coach. That hiring. Do you feel confident? What's your scale of 1 to 10? Where are you at?
To be honest with you, I think it's a solid 7.
Okay.
I actually am actually really liking this where we are right now in regards to the totality. I think with Pete Carroll, there's no question of what we're going to do. I don't think there's questions about the culture that will be established when he fully gets his hands on this team. Um, there is a line of the 3 years. I know that is a question mark for some, but I think what it is he comes in and he really brings a foundation to this team to where he can pass it off to whoever it may be, and we'll be in a good place. 3 years means that's 3 years of drafts. That means even the first year that he drafts, those people are still going to be under a rookie contract, which means we're not spending a whole lot of money for them. But at that point, we should be getting a lot of value from those players. So and
Mm-hmm.
one thing that Pete Carroll is actually really good at is identifying talent. I'm not saying that he's the GM or whatever, but he's going to have some say on who
Mm-hmm.
comes in to this team. And I think having a guy that has a real good eye for talent, but also can cultivate that talent is going to help us in the long run. So it's not, for those that are skeptical about it, I see your points because I also try to see both sides of the fence. But I think we're in a better position by getting a seasoned head coach. That was one of the issues we had. A lot of, well, not personally, but the rumblings of the nation. And that was one of the issues that they had with Antonio Pierce, was that Antonio Pierce didn't have the experience. Antonio Pierce didn't have, what I'm saying, the wherewithal to handle, the position of being a head coach. Well, guess what about that with Pete Carroll? And along with that, you know, a lot, I think a lot of uh, the reason why the season went the way that it went was because simply Antonio Pierce was outcoached by all these veteran head coaches in the AFC West alone. Guess what? With Pete Carroll, that's not going to be the case. If we lose, it's going to be because of something, a player didn't do right, or, something that we like, okay, that was the reason why we lost the game. It won't be because of coaching. I'm not saying that, Pete Carroll is the end all be all. I'm not, completely, saying that, yeah, Pete Carroll's the sole answer as to what's going to have us win games. I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to get, as an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator along with Pete Carroll. But I think this is a real good start, you know, um, with what we're trying to build in the totality of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Let's go.
Beautifully
Let's
said, brother.
go.
Beautifully said.
Like a Raider poet. Couldn't have said it better myself.
I,
Beautiful
I,
stuff.
I, I'm, I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm long winded, but I hope everybody got what
No,
I put down.
No. That was
no,
no,
no.
brother. No. Thank you
And
so much, brother.
mwah.
That was a chef's
That's
kiss
right.
right there.
Right. Salute. That's right.
Appreciate you.
Salute to you, my friend. No, man. We love the words here. We're 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 into the whole English language thing. So yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to have you on more, Twine, for sure. So
Yeah,
thanks
man.
for coming by. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So like we talked about the fact that he's here, right? But
Hmm.
you touched on a really good point, right? What about the staff, right? Who's the OC? Who's the DC? My thought process is, and I've said this a couple times, but I'll say it because you're here.
Hmm.
There are different types of coaches that
Absolutely.
exist. There are bad coaches, obviously, right? Then you have your what I would call builders, right? They're very good at taking a team that doesn't have any kind of culture or real system, right? adding talent, coaching that talent up, bringing it up to a level where they can, compete consistently. Then you have your finishers, right? They're really good at taking a team that's already pretty darn talented, but just can't get over the hump and cashing in, right? And then the third kind is just Hall of Famer, just great coaches, right? Some of those dudes, could just do all of that and maybe a little bit more, right? I think that Pete Carroll is a Hall of Fame, great type of coach, but at his basic level, he's a builder, right? He likes to get his hands in there, create a culture, a system, checks and balances. He's in the front office. He was I think vice president of football for operations for Seattle. So he was in the draft room helping make those decisions with Schneider. Very instrumental in who got picked, just as much as the GM almost, right? But so he's like hands on. He's running scout team quarterback himself. Like he teaches, right? And he expects his position coaches to do the same thing, like teach the game, right? So I think that building thing is pretty darn cool to have when he may be leaving in a couple of years. And if we pick the right successor who is a finisher, right? We might just be able to kind of take this thing all the way, right? Without having to find a gem of a Hall of Fame super duper coach to come in behind Pete, right? I think it's rare that you have those coaches. I think a lot of times you have to do this thing where you have one coach take over for another coach and da 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 da. So, a succession plan where we don't have to flip the whole staff, but instead the coach willingly leaves, the right person steps in, and there's this continuity seems very appealing to me, right? And I think that succession plan should probably start with a young, hot offensive coordinator. That's my opinion. So, Western thoughts on this idea?
You said it perfectly, also, brother. Because as I said earlier, right? I didn't want to think about the successor when he's gone, but I just will say this: that when he is done and when he decides to hang it up and ride into the sunset, right? The tone of our team and the mentality of our team will be a night and day difference. And there's a lot of OCs, DCs that are tied to him. And as I said, he has a lot of ties in the NFL, in college, and I have faith on whoever he calls, and I trust that he will do the right thing going forward.
Our guest, what do
I
you think? Yeah, go ahead.
no, I feel I'm with you. I think the perfect situation, the way I'm seeing it, is that if he brings in that successor, I think it should be somebody that may has not necessarily got that shot. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to throw a random name out there. I don't even know if that's the logistics, but I'm going to say Cliff Kingsbury. Let's say Cliff Kingsbury. Say Cliff Kingsbury, has been
Hmm.
in a situation with Pete Carroll, where Pete Carroll has worked with him in the past, and he may have not necessarily got that chance to be a head coach, right? You bring him in, let him run the offense under Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll can groom him, and then when Pete Carroll says, "Hey, I'm out of here," by the way, let me tell you that I've been all this time I've been here, I've been grooming Cliff Kingsbury to take over. It's just like a track relay.
Mm-hmm.
You're just passing the baton, and you continue to run it because that person has already been in the organization. That person knows the GM, has a relationship with the GM. He already knows who's BSing it on the field and who needs to go and who needs to stay. You
Right.
don't have to worry about, a coach coming in and then we got to wait a whole another couple of months for him to figure out who's actually the guys that need to stay on this roster because he's
Mhm.
already in the room. That smooth transition from Pete Carroll, whoever that may be. I'm not saying it's Cliff Kingsbury. I just threw that name out there. But it's probably
Mhm.
somebody within his tree that may not necessarily have got that shot. You go ahead and give it to him. You know what I'm saying? That's how I kind of felt
Mm.
about
Mhm.
back in the day when back in the times with uh Andy Reid and Bieniemy. I thought that Andy Reid was going to eventually hang it up and then pass it over to Bieniemy because he was already in the room, but
Mhm.
obviously that didn't happen. But that would have been a smooth transition. And I think that's where we are going to be, especially with, like you said, the style of coaches, right? He is a builder, you know what I'm saying? So if he can build this foundation, you know what I'm saying, with all the other guys that we already have on the roster, like the Max Crosbys and you know what I'm saying, the Spillanes, and those are start the building pieces of a team. You start building that up,
Mm.
then we can actually do something. So some people may not necessarily like the slow process of things. Everybody wants to win right now. That may not necessarily be the case. But I think if we just allow Pete Carroll to cook and bring in the right personnel and all the things that we said that we needed in this team. We complained about the experience of a head coach. We complained about the lack of consistency. We complained about us not drafting well. Well, guess what? Pete Carroll does all of that.
Mhm. He does. He does. He does. He does.
So,
I was just
and
earlier pointing out. Oh, go ahead.
no, and let me clarify too that because I know some people like, oh, he must be a fanboy of Pete Carroll. I'm not really a fanboy of Pete Carroll. I'm just looking at what I'm seeing, and I think there's more positives than negatives by bringing Pete Carroll in.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
I
Absolutely.
was I was earlier just pointing out the connections to the commander's staff. Dan Quinn is over there. Wagner's playing over there, right? We talked about Larry Izzo and Bobby Ingram and Daryl Tapp and Kid Norton Jr. and I mean, keep going, right? So I think it's interesting. I wonder if there's going to be a little bit of pillaging happening um, from their staff.
Possibly.
We shall see. It depends on timing, I think, obviously, guys, because I mean, I doubt we want to wait too long, before we end up making a move um, and just, filling out the rest of our staff, right? So I think that's going to be,
Wait, it just depends.
yeah, yeah. We may have to
I said
wait
that it might be
on that.
because some of those guys are still coaching, right? So you can't
Hmm.
really mess with them until they finish their duties of this season. So it
Exactly.
it to what you're saying, man. I hope it's just it's probably going to be somebody in his tree, but I think if we could pluck the best available out of his tree, I think that'd be a good transition for us.
Well, I think you're right. I think that there's going to be an opportunity to pick and choose certain guys. I think you probably uh, prefer to roll with Pete if you can, right?
Hmm.
Um, you know, and we'll see what's what, right? But I think Jared's right. He does tend to leave a solid foundation for the next head coach, that sort of thing. Um, you know, uh, the Seahawks were pretty good this year.
Yo,
Brand new head coach
I
takeover.
just I got to go back to this comment here by V Beasy. So he's saying AP was a mid coach, but the Raiders hired him, then fired him after 1 year. That is not the fans' problem. It ain't the fans' problem. That's an Antonio Pierce problem. You know why? Because he was terrible. That's why. So I just had to just make that clear. There. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I think Antonio Pierce was a bad coach, because he was a rookie, and unfortunately, we're in a position where, you know, we we were excited about a rookie, but we don't have time for a rookie to have rookie slumps, right? Or rookie issues or rookie
Mhm.
But
problems, So we had to
it's
move
okay
on.
to have rookie problems, but the thing is with AP, it's kind of like, I like the analogies. It's like, yeah, we know you don't cook, and we can probably teach you to cook because I could cook, but you don't clean too. Oh, I didn't know you
Mm.
can clean. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
kind of junky. You like to leave your stuff all over. This ain't gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you
Yeah.
gonna try? Oh, you do it for 2 weeks. Dang, you ain't do it for 10 weeks straight now. You gotta go. Oh, now you want to do it? No, it's too late. Already, like,
Food is served
we already know
already.
that
You know
he
what I mean?
knows. Like, I'm sorry, AP was. I wanted AP to work so
Oh.
bad. It's not what you do sometimes; it's how you do it, and he did it wrong. I'm sorry, like all the ways wrong. Like, like he was falling down the tree and couldn't grab not a branch to even stop himself. He just kept knocking branches off and
Mm.
just falling. Like, I was
He
like,
tried
come
to
on, bro. I want
try
you
to
to
grab
stay,
it.
but you ain't giving yourself no leverage. None.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to
Agree.
go.
Agree.
He had to
It wasn't.
go.
It
But
wasn't pretty.
but it surprises me, man, because I like to not only look at what the Raiders are doing, but also kind of follow what the vibe of the nation is, right? And it's very interesting that a lot of people talk about Antonio Pierce and, oh, he doesn't have experience, but then all of a sudden we draft a coach that has freaking probably the most probably one of the head coaches that has the most experience in the NFL, and people are complaining about that. It's like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Like,
Well, because we went
which
and go
way are
get
we
Paw
supposed to
Paw.
go?
Because we went and got Paw
Mm.
Paw. That's why. We weren't supposed to go from Compton's Most Wanted to Paw Paw. That's a
Hey,
culture
look.
shock.
Hey. I just have to say this too. Being a coach
Paw Paw,
of
really?
being a coach of the Las Vegas Raiders is not a internship. It's not an internship. Okay, it's not an internship. So you can't perform to the task. Pack your bags, get back in your 6'4" Impala, and hit them switches all the way back to Compton.
It's a culture shock. We
When you
went and
hit the
got
switches backwards, it's like this. You go like that.
Crying in the car, hitting switches.
Paw Paw. But Paw
Back it
Paw,
up. Like,
Paw Paw gonna bring us structure though.
he
Mm-hmm.
Oh
will.
no! Oh no! It's not. Are you my daddy? It's are you my granddaddy?
I was
Okay,
waiting
I
for it.
got it.
I
I
was
got
waiting
it.
for it.
I got it. I got it. Are you my granddaddy?
That's
Head
hilarious.
coach in the NFL is not a job training situation.
Paw
It
Paw.
should be a graduate level position. Thank you, Joe.
Spot on. Spot on. That's why it is not an internship. It's not an internship.
No, but for real, Antonio Pierce would have won like 7 games this year. He wouldn't have been fired. Sorry.
No, he wouldn't have. But that would have been the max of the. That's what the roster spoke to. The
Yeah.
7-10
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
quarterbacks just weren't as good as you thought, and the line was
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But I mean, what happened was not no.
And
Look,
like
and
we
and
up 4 wins.
and there's fans too that are just like
Uh,
really upset that Pierce is gone. But look, he's gone for a reason. He's gone for a reason. All right.
I
Let
He
have
him
was a
go.
never
cool
been.
dad. He used to let
I
us
was
watch TV at the table with the tablet and eat. He used to let us stay up late. He used to let us used to sit in his Impala. He was a cool dad. Why couldn't keep him?
Antonio Pierce is the substitute teacher. You go in high school, and then all the kids just acting wild and shit. You know what I mean? Then Pete Carroll comes in. He's the real teacher, and all the kids are like, "Oh shit!" They sit
Oh,
up and
man.
shit. You know what I mean? And the coach, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Paw Paw in the building.
I think again, there's nothing, and I'll say this, I still like Antonio Pierce, but I just feel like, where we were as an organization, I don't think we have the patience to allow that to
Yeah.
work itself out. You know what I'm saying? If we were another organization where we could really, you know what I'm saying, put our arms around him and, you know, get him, you know, all the things that he needed, i.e. a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, we could have been a whole lot better, but you know, and he would have grew. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that
Yeah.
he was a perfect person, you know what I'm saying, by no means, but I think if we were another organization where we had the patience to allow that person to work out those things, I think he would have been even more for the better. My hope
Mhm.
for him is that he doesn't get canceled. You know what I'm saying? I hope that he may get another opportunity in the NFL because I don't think, you know, I don't think he's that bad of a coach where he's a one and done.
I don't know. It was bad. You're right. The timing is bad. Now, had we not just went through the McDaniels trauma, then we might have had the patience for it. But that
Something makes sense.
McDaniels situation was traumatic.
Yeah,
Y'all
we
want to
could.
know what trauma is? That was trauma. Like for real. Like that's what trauma looked like played out on the football field because you lost your franchise quarterback, you damn lost the fans.
We lost Hunter goddamn Renfro.
So
Hey,
I had
don't even go
that
there,
not happened,
Hotspot.
we might would have had patience for
So
AP.
mad.
But we needed somebody to stop the bleeding, not somebody that's looking on Google talking about how to stop bleeding. Y'all got a tourniquet. We can get the tourniquet. I promise you guys. Let's go.
Right.
I've seen hella people get shot before. Let's do this. No, we
Hey,
ain't got
hey,
time for
Hey,
that.
and Antonio Pierce is a great person, a great player. He's a champion, you know, and I wish him the like best of luck, right? Like there's no hate here, but I'm just saying from a coaching standpoint, it was all bad. You know, it was terrible.
He
mm,
said you ain't gotta go
I've
home.
never
Out of here.
been out on a coach that fast in my life.
Me neither. Me neither. And you know what? It wasn't even so much him not calling timeouts and all the weird fourth downs and all that. It wasn't even so much even that. I could even live with that goofiness. When they asked him questions about it, and then when he was in the press conferences and he was going up and down, and I was like, oh, he came in with Starbucks. He had a long night. We're going to lose this week. Oh, no. Oh, he got water this week. Oh, we got a chance. Oh, he over there mumbling.
So
Like,
hey,
what the fuck is going on with? Oh, who he just started? Boom, boom, boom. Who was that went under the bus? Oh, damn, that was a damn offensive coordinator.
hey, so right, so but look, my biggest thing with him too, aside from him not you know like timeouts, like all that, right too, but having player only meetings multiple times so early in the season, going on social media when he should be off social media, hitting and liking all this shit, you know what I mean? And all that little bantering, you know, it was like him and Adams and all that stuff. That's not how a professional head coach is supposed to handle himself. And I said this in the past. You don't see Coach Harbaugh doing that, Reed doing that. You don't see Bill Belichick, you know, like that. There was kind of where I was like, I washed my hands with him.
do they even have Twitter?
For
True.
Belichick.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, some of these old people, they still got a flip phone.
I don't care
Um,
if it's I don't care if it's a Twitter or whatever. The Patriot way, we will not be on Twitter during season.
Oh,
but
All
hey,
yeah,
you will
man,
not
you
be
know,
you will be fine.
he handled a bunch of things
true.
just like a child, you know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, you're a grown ass man. You're supposed to lead by example, and you're not doing that. You're not doing
Yeah.
it.
Hey,
Now that boy
hey,
was like, "Hey Gardner, come over here. Let me holler at you for a minute. Hey buddy, how you doing?" Brum, brum. Push you right over and under the bus.
right under
I'm
the
like,
bus.
hey,
nah, that ain't no good leader. I'm sorry.
hey,
It's not gonna
Hotspot,
get it done.
What's up, huh?
you brought up something and it's killing me, man. You brought up Hunter Renfro. I think Hunter Renfro still got talent.
Oh
The
yeah,
fact,
I
yeah,
I
of
I,
course he
I,
does.
I still feel like
I agree.
he can do everything that he was doing before he left. I think McDaniels really killed him. You know what I'm saying? And not just, when I say killed him, I'm talking about his spirit. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what outplayed Hunter Renfro out of the NFL.
Hunter Renfro was getting slapped because them play concepts that he was over there sabotaging the team with.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter Renfro was getting slapped that last year.
Murked.
I just gotta
Mark.
say, hey, why is there a picture of Antonio Pierce in the
Huh?
background right now?
Oh, I was just remember how he used to look all the time.
Oh man, hey, you should have him
What
in
is
a
that
trash
face?
bag.
He's just kind of confused. Like, hey everybody. That's how he always looked. That's not a confident face. See
You
that
know
right there?
what?
That's a
Antonio
trash
Pierce,
face.
if there was like a movie with a coach that was a Raiders coach, he probably could have played a Raider coach, like acted out being a Raider coach. He looked like he could have been
Yep.
a Raider coach.
Yeah, yeah. You said, yeah. He was acting. He was acting.
Guys,
He's just an actor.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah,
I just want
he got the
everybody to
look.
remember when you talk about AP. That's what I remember. That's what I
VBZ,
can see
that
in the
picture
stadium.
is for you right there because you have that picture, the portrait, and you're there in your bed right now with Antonio Pierce picture.
You know what this picture really shows me, and I like Antonio Pierce. Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying that.
Mm-hmm.
What it's showing me is when he first came in, he was ready to go. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But then when he started to realize what it really took, not necessarily to be a head coach, but a Raiders head coach, this is the face that you get. You know what I'm saying? To deal with Tom Telesco and all of his fiasco, and
Oh,
you
here
know what
we
I'm saying,
go.
Oh,
to deal with, Mark Davis, and what style of haircut he
It's
wants to
over.
wear. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, week to week, and what Snow Bunny's going to be in his skybox. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nobody's too.
to deal with to deal with all of that. You know what I'm saying? I think, and I hate to say it, but I think that's why, at the end of the year when he really said ask Telesco, I think he was really throwing, not necessarily throwing him under the bus, but letting people know, like, a lot of this stuff is going on because of Tom Telesco.
Man,
But
Telesco got hit because
that's
he wasn't looking.
that's
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 messed up,
that's
boy.
that's the face you have when you came in, and you realize that the task is bigger than you expected.
Absolutely, it takes a certain type of coach to coach our team. We are not the average team, where a head coach would just come in here. To be a Raiders head coach, it takes a certain type of coach and character and all that. And he had all the rah 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 stuff, right? But once the rah 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 and the hype, all that dies down, what do you have to show after that?
But it wasn't his fault totally because he was a first-time head coach. He didn't know what to expect. He just thought that, when you lose games as a player, you know what it's like to lose, and you don't like that feeling. But he didn't know, like, when you get beat in the NFL as a coach, a Raiders coach, it's like 8 clubs over your head, like each loss. So imagine taking 10 weeks of that. He didn't know what to do. He was just like, all right, we got the number 1 pick. Let's win. That boy didn't know what to think. He was just tripping. Like, that boy was getting beat up on. I feel sorry for him. I wish him the best, but he probably not gonna get another job. I hope he do get like another position coach, but let
Yeah,
him work his way up, or maybe be special
work
teams
his way
coach.
up. Yeah, work his way up. He can't, like we said, he can't go back to college.
Oh
due
no,
to some
no way, no way.
issues, some
Done.
violations. He's not allowed to
It's finished.
be a head coach. He has to set a whole year if he takes a position
Who
in
put
college.
a pickle on my muffin?
Okay, you know what?
I
He
just
may
want to
be yelling
say,
about his muffin, but you know what? You're gonna get him the right fucking muffin. I bet you do that.
hey, that picture there. Now that's a real coach right there who knows what
That
he's
boy
doing.
gonna be on West Flamingo tripping lines.
Okay, so listen.
he said West Flamingo. I'm dead.
Tripping, driving up and
The
down.
ladies need to worry because Pete is coming. Okay, just saying.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm just telling you. That's why he feel like he's 64.
Hey,
Whatever you got to do, P.
Hey, the
Whatever you gotta
testosterone
do.
level, huh? Keep him
hey, this move is so Raider. We started with black, and then we hired a silver.
Oh, let's go.
I like that. I
That's
like
what I'm
that.
talking about. That's why we
I
bring
like
you on
that.
the show. That's brilliant. That's so good. There were too many. I see what you did here. Chiefs in the kitchen last
No,
year.
he's saying chefs. He was saying,
Oh, I
too many.
know what he meant, but I like how he did that. It was a recipe for disaster. It's true. Too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. Anyway,
Yeah.
at this point,
Okay.
get Coach Boone and Coach Yost on the phone. All right.
Hey,
He says
Coach
AP would be
Boone.
what? You got something against Coach Boone?
Nah, go ahead.
AP will be spending next season with the 33rd team taking notes. Wow. He might coach somewhere.
And
The
I think
Blade.
I think Black had it right. You know what I'm saying? I think, when I said I hope he doesn't get played out of the NFL, he might have to take a, a linebacker coach again and work his way up and, be a DC and, he might get another crack at being a head coach, but I don't think he's completely, he didn't do that bad that he can't get a job somewhere on somebody's coaching staff.
Oh no,
you know
he
what I'm saying?
did that bad. We just feel sorry for him. The league should too, because it's the Raiders.
I was gonna
It's
say,
the
man,
Raiders.
you guys are so kind right now. You guys are
It's
so
easy.
kind.
It's easy to mess up
you
the
fucking
Raiders.
guys.
It's easy to mess up the Raiders because you can do the right thing and it still go wrong. So we already understand that we was asking him to resurrect a dead person for real. That's what we was really asking him to do.
Hey, I'll be very honest with you. If I was a head coach and I needed somebody to get my linebackers together, I would be calling AP because
Yeah, I would too. Just on TP.
when
I
AP
wouldn't be
was
calling
coaching
AP.
when AP was coaching our linebackers, you know what I'm saying? Besides Diablo, we was doing all right.
Maybe he'll go back to the Giants sometime, in the look, I wish him the best of luck, but I ain't touching that. I look like if I'm being honest, I ain't touching Pierce.
He said you ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get up out of here.
Proof that he was over his head is that last season he mismanaged the linebackers. Okay, Masterson should not have played for as long as he did. We didn't see enough of Gaynor and Bernie, and I think it cost us big time. I think that when Diablo was out, Masterson played so poorly, and watching or listening to AP defend him at the time told me everything I needed to know about him as a coach. He is overly prideful. He lacks attention to detail. He throws players and coaches under the bus. He has no play calling experience to lean on when things get tough. He had no prior experience as a head coach at any sort of relative level. He was mediocre as a head coach for Long Beach Poly.
Yeah, man.
So we'll see.
His Madden coach rating for me is like 41.
Ooh.
So let's talk about the future. 41. Ouch. I have some ideas. So I've repeated this a couple times. I believe that we need to have that great offensive coordinator who comes in. I think trying to hire someone who's already a coordinator could be tough. If we can get Cliff Kingsbury, I mean, shit, sign me the hell up.
Black.
You know what I mean? Sign me up. Do I think we can get him? I don't know. Like, why would he leave Washington? What are you going to give him? Is the idea of being a successor good enough? If you make him assistant head coach, does that
Man, that man got 3 years. He might as well just lay back and then when it's time, switch over. because he getting more experience right now than he would get here. They're already in the playoffs. Like he already at where we trying to get. So he ain't learning nothing behind Pete Carroll. Shit, he have a better chance learning behind whoever he at right now.
But his chance to be a head coach ain't gonna happen in Washington because they loving him. They loving him some Quinn.
Yeah, and then 2 years from now we go get him. That give him a chance to go back to the playoffs next year after they don't win a Super Bowl this year. Give him another chance at it. They make another playoff run. Then they make another playoff run. And then after that, it's time for him to go.
The thing about it is he is under Quinn, which is, Pete's old defensive coordinator. And so systems are going to be very similar. Interesting.
That is interesting.
Right. So let's see. VBZ is still not happy that we have a head coach who's old. And CMB is standing for Jameis Winston. He says Winston brought Jerry Jeudy back from the dead and put him in the Pro Bowl.
If y'all can't stand, this is what I don't understand about, and you might have been just playing about Jameis Winston, and I personally like Jameis Winston too, but I don't have this issue about what I'm about to say right now. Is if y'all have a problem with Gardner Minshew throwing interceptions, y'all really gonna have a problem with Jameis Winston throwing interceptions because he for sure gonna throw some like for sure. So look, I'm just saying they do it at the same rate. Matter of fact, I will argue Winston is even more than Minshew. Minshew had a bad system, and a bad system. Remember, that's what I'm hearing. He was in the wrong system. So maybe with a coach like Carroll, he'll play better. But
actually, Minshew before coming to the Raiders had one of the lowest interception totals for a person with that many starts. As a matter of fact, he actually was second to Patrick Mahomes in the amount of interceptions in his first, I believe, 25 starts.
Yeah, and then he came here. He had freaking Getsy was horrible. Coach Pierce was just terrible, and his coaching staff. All the coaches that he picked, man, were I just was not feeling that great after we seen what happened, right? And then back to the Jameis thing. Black and I, we talked about this here too, to where I would entertain the option of Jameis Winston going to our team, and I said this in the past. I don't care if he throws 5 picks in the game, as long as he wins the game. I don't care how many interceptions he throws, as long as he can win. It doesn't matter how pretty it looks. Just win. That's all that matters to me. You can come in the first game and throw a million picks. Just win the game.
Hey, one of the first 2 games, he gonna throw 2 picks. Then do we take him out?
I mean, that was the Antonio Pierce rule. If a quarterback throws 2 picks, he's done.
He's out of there.
That's why Antonio Pierce is eating all by himself at a Denny's diner right now.
Hey, I like Denny's. I just ate there last night.
All by himself.
He ain't at Denny's yet.
Crying on his dinner plate right now. I love
Denny's.
He's at the Century Club. Let's be real.
The only reason why it was 2 picks was because it was still a competition.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good. I like that answer. Actually, that was the best answer I heard since I've been asking that question.
Salute to May Spitfire. Always spitting that fire. She says he's too old, and I respect your opinion because you're an OG.
Paul.
You're an OG, but I get it. He's old, but
very young. The Winston crew up in here. The Winston
Carroll.
Loving some Jameis Winston.
Paul Carroll. I like him.
Hey, at least with Winston, Trey Tucker's gonna get the ball because we know Winston lets the ball fly.
He be like, "Let's get it deep, y'all." I would have loved him.
Is y'all ready for Winston to be talking about some? The Lord told me to stay away from the Bellagio because the Bellagio was not a place for me to go.
Once Winston's done, he will be a passer after he's done playing in the Bro, he speaks freaking tremendously well, dude. And I hear, dude, man, his pregame stuff, and I'm like, dude, I'm fucking hyped up just fucking hearing that shit.
He always been like that. He always been like that.
Yeah,
You know
he-
what? You know what? I'm gonna act like black. You know, based off of that statement, I'm gonna pass on Winston. You know what I'm saying? I
You
don't
said
think
like
that's a
Shark Tank,
I
and for
don't
those reasons,
I
I'm
don't
out.
I don't think that's a good. I don't think that's a good look because you know, as much as we bash Derek Carr for being a pastor, we can't have James Winston coming in here being a pastor. You know, some people don't like Jesus like that around here.
Right.
For those reasons, I am out.
Especially not in Sin City,
Yeah,
fire. He said it
because
was
he gonna be straight in the locker room talking about, brother. You see what happened to Henry Ruggs? Oh man, can't even go out. Can't even go out now. Because this fool always talking about some. I had a vision in my sleep last night, brothers. Go home, be with your wives. Eat a
Making people
salad.
feel uncomfortable when they have
that
a working girl in the locker room.
You're gonna be like, what? They're gonna be like,
that's
what? Boy?
that's the other reason why I say C.J. Stroud couldn't be a Raider because as much as he talk about Jesus on his post press conferences, yeah, I don't think that would fly with Raider Nation. I seen how they grew Derek Carr when he started talking about his faith.
Man.
Yo,
Well.
Chris Foster, he just came in here with a tombstone pile driver comment right now. Salute to Chris Foster. He says Detroit is known for a few things: 0-16, 49ers massacre, choking as a number one seed for Washington, 0 Super Bowls, Barry Sanders quitting on you, Megatron, 0 playoff wins,
Dang.
3 playoff wins in the past 70 years.
Jesus
Damn, that's
Lord.
some ether right there.
Man, get off where you mad at.
And his profile thing, his picture is a Bears fan. So salute to a Bears fan.
Yes, thanks for coming
to
through
our content here. So salute to you, Chris Foster,
with the ugly hate for the Detroit
with
team.
the tombstone pile driver right there.
I guess we're with it right now.
Now watch Chicago start beating Detroit, and it's gonna be funny.
Oh, that's gonna be funny. That's gonna be funny. I mean, he obviously chose to go right in the division for a reason. Like that is
because he think he could. Because he used to be like, take it out my hand. Oh, you keep taking it out my hand.
He's like, dang, hold on, I'm not ready.
Hold on, wait a minute. So now you're like, I'm about to expose you in front of everybody. Now forget that. And if they start winning, that's gonna help the team go. That hire can help them get that new stadium done too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I think he went to a good spot. I hate to say it, but
hey,
you know,
same here, man. Same here, brother.
If you look at them and hear me clearly, if you look at them offensively on paper, they're actually a really good team. Now I hate to say that, but you know the people on paper they gotta stay healthy, but they look good on paper. You know
I was gonna
when
say
you
the
talk about
same thing,
Keenan
brother.
Allen and all those other guys, all those weapons that they got over there, that looks good for Ben Johnson.
Listen, Eberflus was basically what would happen if we kept Antonio Pierce this year and then drafted a really good quarterback. He was replacing someone who was not good at the football coaching thing, and somehow hung on to that job at least 2 years too long. But they've got what seems to be a brilliant guy there. When there's a lot of weapons, I could see why, that was appealing.
Absolutely.
And a storied franchise, it's not like
DeAndre Swift, Caleb, Doomsday. They got some good pieces on defense. Hey,
but it looks like Foster wants to give up on Caleb, and no, that's never happening. Sorry, no, definitely not for our first and Crosby. If you gave us a first, we think about it maybe, but otherwise, no, not at all.
No, I'm like, who y'all think Caleb is? If anything, give us your first round.
Exactly. No.
So we could dump him next year and then be number 2 in the draft. We'll dump him and he don't play good. We'll give up our first round and Caleb and be number 1 in the draft.
So yeah, we're not doing that one there. So yeah. So does Carroll have a say in who gets drafted or no?
He should.
Yeah, he's a head coach, but there's a GM, so there's a difference. The thing about Carroll though is that he has a track record of being in those decisions and working well with another person who is the GM.
He's gonna have his touch on it for sure. He's definitely gonna have his hand in that pot. Definitely.
So yeah,
Either way is fine with me. I like some. I'm still digging into our GM, but what I've seen so far of him, I think he's not too bad. So I think them together. You know what I'm saying? If they have a conversation and can work things out together, I think that works well. And I said it, and someone else on mainstream media, I guess they were listening to me earlier. But this spy tech guy, he knows how to talk to old people. You know what I'm saying? I think all these coaches that he's worked under, you know what I'm saying, or worked not under but worked with. I mean, because he's the assistant GM. He's worked with Arians. He's old. He worked with Bowles. He's old. You know what I'm saying? So he knows how to translate to these old people, and I think that's what's going to have to be with Pete Carroll. So I think it will work out for us. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's funny that he says that he doesn't want to do this trade for the next MVP quarterback, because if he was the next MVP quarterback, you wouldn't be trying to trade him. So
look, now just me. I would trade for him, but I ain't trading no Max Crosby in a first round pick.
I ain't trading nobody for him.
No, I'm not sure he'd make it.
So that's where we're, little different here on the panel, right? Plus, this year,
maybe Miami.
This year, with a possibility of Cam Ward or Sanders, I feel like I will not have to give up as much assets to go get a Cam Ward as what you're asking for Caleb Williams, and Sanders might possibly just slide to us without us trading anything at all. Now, do I feel that Caleb could be a possible talented quarterback? Yes, but the question is, I ain't gonna trade him for that haul that you're asking for.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Max Crosby ain't old enough anyway.
And that's just me.
He's 27 and has never been injured before. He's actually in his physical prime, so that's ridiculous. A prime defensive, like all-pro player for a quarterback who has question marks, who had a iffy rookie season, who has a problem fitting into the locker room, and that's why you're considering trading him. Let's be real, Chris.
So V Beasy says, Chris, I would take that trade for Caleb. I will give you
that should tell you everything you need to know.
And a 6 so fast.
And the sixth pick. Yeah. Well, V Beasy.
See, now look, V Beasy. Now look, brother man. Now I would entertain a trade for Caleb too, but I ain't giving all that up. That's just me. That's what I mean. I can't give you. I will not feel justified or good going to bed at night knowing that I traded away a first and Crosby for Caleb Williams. I'm
and let's see, Chris. You weren't here earlier because we covered this. We talked about how the truth is most of the time there needs to be a transition between one coach to another to go from poor team to Super Bowl winner. Most coaches can't do both the building and the transition from good team to great team. They're rare. We have one who's done that, but we also know that he can build. And so by the time he's done building, he will be ready to go ahead and move on, and there will be a succession plan. And you know what's less of a topsy-turvy situation than getting a brand new head coach? When that head coach comes from your own staff and you just promote them and everyone else stays in their place. You see, this is more stable than taking shots at young head coaches who could be gone in a year. So we'll see how that plays out for you, man. Mm-hmm.
Hey, as much as everybody was on Ben's, and I say it on my channel, but as much as everybody was on Ben's Johnson, he might fizzle out.
I
He
agree.
has such a short resume. It
So
was
we weren't that high on him too. Yeah. So I definitely entertained the option, right? But I'm always seeing the pros and the cons, right? And with
Yeah.
Pete Carroll, I see a more stable, safer option than Ben Johnson. Look, Ben Johnson could come out and he could be the next freaking offensive genius, right? But then he could also not pan out to be what we're thinking, right? Because I always said, the Lions had a good O-line, if not the best O-line, great weapons on offense, and that also played a factor in why he was good too. Now I won't say, well, he can't draw the plays, and things, but I just wasn't as high on him as other fans and content guys out there were.
Yeah, I thought it was sad that so many people was doing the hawk Tua on Ben's Johnson.
I told y'all Dan Campbell overrated, so Ben Johnson ain't probably too far from it.
That's fair.
the hawk to on
Unless he just come out and start slapping them around with the Bears, then I would be like, they had the wrong person as the head coach.
And so Chris says here, how about you trade Crosby and your 2026 first round to Tennessee? Get first round pick overall, then take Cam Ward, then with your own pick, take Genty. Then you have Ward, Jenny, and Bowers. Now, the problem that I have with that is that I feel like I don't have to trade Crosby to get that pick per se, So what I'm trying to do is keep Crosby, and now I'm all in for like trading picks for something like that. If I could get Cam Ward and a Genty, yes, I'll give them all the picks that they're asking for, but I don't want to give away.
We're not trading Crosby.
Yeah.
So we don't want to trade our good players to get a quarterback so that we can be good. That's not necessary. I don't know. Everybody wants to have us trade Crosby because they just want to see us fail, I think. But no, we're going to actually keep our good players this time and then add more of them to the team. That's kind of how you do that. I've always thought that you wanted to keep the ones that you drafted are good. So, yeah.
Now, I've said this true. The only way that I would trade Max Crosby is for a Khalil Mack type deal. I want the exact same, where I want a bunch of first round picks and some second picks comboed up in that, because I ain't
give me Trace
just
first.
offering them, for a bag of half-eaten chips, or something like that. Like no.
Yeah. Caleb's is worth 2 firsts. I need another one. That's why. All right. So yeah. So 2 firsts. So Caleb and a first we could start talking, right? But yeah, VBZ. We know the stats are close, but the eyeballs say something different about those seasons. Okay. Yeah, they had very similar yards, touchdown, interception ratio. Those were not 2 things that were just like each other. I'm sorry.
The last time I checked, saying when a player gets drafted, their value actually goes down. So why are we giving more draft picks than what the person was actually worth, especially if he wasn't he's not the number one quarterback in this draft. That's Jaden Daniels. So his stock has gone down. So why are we giving more
facts
of value to get someone that's not even equating what he was drafted as the number one pick?
Yeah. Chris, I get this idea of let's get that hottest young assistant. I've seen that fail so many times, though. It is very risky. I mean, he may pan out, and look, everybody says he's super smart. There are people that say his personality is introverted and a little bit off, but maybe he'll be fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
But what we don't know is what he's like as a head coach. Do you know why? Because he's never been a head coach.
Because I've said
He
the
He was a
exact
point.
tight
same
ends
thing.
coach, offensive quality control assistant. He just started being a play caller. He's had 2 years of actual, like, real coordination of an offense. Awesome. But that's as high as he's ever risen. And so that scared me.
Yep. And you don't know what you're gonna get with him taking full reins as a head coach. Now, look, I ain't trying to hate on the Bears or Ben Johnson, because look, he, just like how you said, right? He could be that offensive genius, but nobody knows yet, and you're kind of taking a gamble on that, hoping that he will take all that what he did to the Lions to your Bears team.
He's a
And so
You probably could take it to the Bears team. It's just that how does that translate to our team? Like our team is different. I'm telling you, like it might could translate to the Bears. Like the Bears might get 9 wins. They fight in that little division, win the division 10 games or whatever. 10 games for us. That might get us in, but that's not strong for us. Like we're not gonna get 10 wins out of Ben Johnson like that. Like it's like that's like winning 13 games. Like the Raiders, we're gonna lose some games that we not supposed to lose. Like for real.
So Chris, you seem very, very confident that Caleb is so much better and he's going to crush him in the future.
He's a biased Bears fan. That's why.
Yeah, but what? Yeah,
He's a
what
biased Bears fan, and that's
are you
cool.
basing that off of? Because
he's just trying to. He got a new coach. He's just trying to set it up nice.
Oh yeah. No. Look, I get it. You're happy with Ben Johnson, right? Because trust me, here us as Vegas fans, right? We've been saying, oh, BJ to Vegas, BJ and Hooker to Vegas coming, all that talk, right? But guess what? We have Pete Carroll, and I'll speak for myself here. And we're happy, with Pete Carroll. You know what I mean? And I am honestly more excited with the Pete Carroll signing than Ben Johnson. And but I just don't see you guys beating the Packers on a constant basis. I know that damn well the Detroit Lions are going to have that extra little oomph when they play you guys. So we'll see, man. But look, I'm trying to see both sides, of the sword here, and I really think you guys are going to have a problem with the Green Bay Packers. I really think that they're going to be a big problem.
they look like a good team. McVay had vastly more experience when he was hired. I think he was in Washington at the time for like 7 years. He was offensive assistant, tight ends coach, and then coordinator for 3 years before he took a job as the Rams head coach, and was the youngest head coach in NFL history at 30 years old at that time. So even at 30,
Reed came from a freaking outstanding coaching tree and a coaching family. You know what I mean? I don't really know where Ben Johnson's where he came from. Like I don't know what tree or what I'm being honest here. But if you think about the tree that Reed came from, McVay came from, those are some pretty high tier coaches there. And yeah, man, I'm trying to see to where you're at, but I'm just being honest here. I just think you're being a biased Bears fan, and that's cool, but you gotta see the whole aspect of it.
That you're talking about Andy Reid, right?
mm-hmm.
Andy Reid was a part of a iron sharpening iron team. Anytime you have Steve Mariucci on staff, anytime you have John Gruden on staff, and Andy Reid. You know what I'm saying? And those were just the assistants that were fighting to be, you know what I'm saying, to get a shot of calling plays. Like John Gruden just released um, a podcast talking about the competition that he had, where Andy Reid, John Gruden, Steve Mariucci, they were all drawing plays on the board, and I forgot who the head coach was, but the head coach was a good head coach, and he would look at the plays, and if it was a good play, he would put it in. He would actually put it into play on a week to week basis. So they were in competition on a weekly basis. You know what I'm saying, to get their offenses to the where they are. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we could really say that with Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson, he has every coach has the potential of being a Hall of Fame coach. Every coach has a potential of being a good head coach in the league. But there's
Mhm.
there's definitely, like I said in my other live, there is pause for concern in regards to Ben Johnson. There's a reason why there's a head coach, which is a hat. There's an offensive coach, head coach, offensive coordinator. That's a hat, and you have a defensive coordinator, and that's a hat. Anytime you combine those hats and you're a rookie head coach, you might have some issues. And I think that's when, that might be the issue Ben Johnson will run into, is how does
Mhm.
he manage running an offense to the best ability and still being a head coach to the best ability and being a rookie
Mhm.
at the same time. No
Right.
college, no college. I would give him a pass if on his resume he was a coach, at Syracuse, or if he was a head coach at, you know what I'm saying, some kind of college, what I'm saying, because at least there's some head coach, what I'm saying, learning there. But he hasn't even been a head coach at all, so
No, he
there's a lot to
was
learn.
a tight ends coach, an offensive assistant for Miami in 2012. So he broke into the NFL. Before that was Boston College. He was the assistant quarterbacks coach for Miami. I've never even heard of that position, assistant corner. Then he was the tight ends coach. Then he was the assistant wide receivers coach. Once again, never heard of that before. Then he was the wide receivers coach. Then he was the offensive quality control coach, which is that a demotion? Does he come to Detroit? Yeah, I think so. And then he became the tight ends coach for 2 years, and then he was the passing game coordinator for a year, where he wasn't fully the offensive coordinator; he just coordinated passing. And then
Mm.
in 2022, he took over as offensive coordinator through this season.
That makes
Okay,
sense. That look like
so
that sounds like a path.
mhm, mhm.
So I'm gonna just say two things here. So I'm seeing his comment. Chris says I want to Ben last year over Harbaugh even now. Me not even being biased towards like Harbaugh, but if I was a Bears fan, I'm going with Harbaugh 9-day difference because he has a proven track record. He's proven to win. Um, you have this hype with Ben, but like as right now, you know what I mean. I would still go with Harbaugh over Ben Johnson because he has head coaching experience and he's done it at the college level and at the pros.
I just want to say this. You ask what was sorry, Andy Reid before Philly. Oh, he was the assistant head
On
coach
Green Bay, right?
for Green Bay, dude.
Yeah,
Assistant head coach. This
yeah.
is yeah. I mean, nobody's
That
a head coach to their head coach, but some people have experience being a head coach at different levels before they're head coach, or at least an
and
assistant head coach in the pros, which is what Andy Reid was when he took over for Philly. He was the quarterbacks coach and assistant head coach for Green Bay. So yeah,
and Mike Holmgren, I'm pretty sure was the head coach, right? Of
That was it. It was Holmgren.
it was
yeah,
Thanks,
yeah,
Holmgren.
yeah,
You're
thanks
right.
yeah,
for bringing it up. I was like,
yeah,
I was
That's
drawing a
correct.
yeah,
blank on
yeah.
the name. So it
It was
was
Holmgren.
Holmgren that was the head coach, and then you had all those guys that I named: Mariucci, Gruden. You know what I'm saying? And Andy Reid, all in those rooms competing for Holmgren's job for the most
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
part.
that is a crazy. insane coaching staff right there. And fun fact here, guys, I went to so in sixth grade, the granddaughter of Mike Holmgren, her and I were in the same class, and this is when Mike Holmgren was brand new, fresh on the Seahawks, and she came in with fresh Seahawks gear every day, and it didn't hit me until I was older that was the granddaughter of Mike Holmgren because her name was Christina Holmgren. So it was just like crazy work.
Damn.
And then for all who don't know, because I am a San Jose, Bay Area guy here, Mike Holmgren used to be a coach at Oak Grove High School. So it's like ties.
Shout
ties,
out.
Ties and ties, on that.
That's right. Bay Area coaches
run
the world. So yeah, had a little experience, just saying. Yeah, Reed was not a top offensive coordinator. You're incorrect. He was a quarterbacks coach and assistant head coach. So someone else on the staff was the offensive coordinator. Yeah. Funny fact, Gruden got a job before Reed did, the year before. So anyway, he also was the vice president of football operations the whole time he was, almost the whole time he was coach in Philly. So
that's
look. We all know about Bill Walsh's coaching tree. Now, if you want to see a real coaching tree that's better than that, check out Paul Brown's coaching tree and check out where Walsh came from. Mic drop.
There you go. So this speaks to what I said earlier. Football is football. They're not widening the field or adding more players. I'm pretty sure that guys like Pete know what the hell they're doing out there.
Oh, and Chris Foster, guess what? We play you guys this year, so we'll see our new coach against your new coach. So that'll be a game to see, right?
I'm sure that he won't get out coached or anything.
Yeah.
Anyway,
question. Since we got this silver fox on the screen, what are your guys's, or maybe not necessarily your guys' concerns, but have you heard any concerns outside of just his age in regards to Pete Carroll?
The concern was his age. Will he be able to evolve the cover three and continue to kind of invent with that, right? And not get stagnant. I think knowing what coaches do when they take a year off, right? I don't think it's an accident that he took one season off and then was right back into trying to become a coach again, a head coach again. I think he knew he was coming back the whole time. And so I think he probably did what most coaches do when they have that year, which is go steady, because you can't really do that while you coach, is my point with AP, is that you can't learn to coach while you're being a head coach, because it's too much work to be a head coach and you don't have any time for that shit. Right. And so people thought he wasn't evolving because he was getting old. He wasn't evolving because he was busy coaching. And the guys that he brought in just ran his system, without, doing a bunch of tweaking and stuff like that. He probably needed somebody who was more a defensive architect instead of just a defensive play caller. And those are different things. He's an architect. He probably went back to the lab, and we're going to see some stuff, right? Much like I give Gruden credit for. He went back to the lab. He came back, and we saw some stuff, some different stuff, right? Was he still running, spiders who banana? Hell yeah. But there was some variations and new stuff, and he modernized that offense some, and we start to see the results of that. So I think football is football, and I think that is one of the concerns you have. Will he be able to evolve as you move forward? And my thought is he just needed some time to do the actual work. So, what's your thought, Black? You think he's going to be able to evolve forward, or are we going to get stuck with stagnation or something with him as head coach?
Who's our D coordinator? I mean, I'm sure he got some wrinkles, like for sure, right? And that's a good thing.
He definitely got some
So,
wrinkles. He's old.
right?
I was waiting for it.
It was an alley oop. I had to, you know what
It
I'm saying,
really
finish the
was.
play.
I
You
was
know, I'm
waiting for
sorry.
it.
Sorry about that. Go ahead,
No,
Yeah,
you're
it
good,
was
brother.
really an alley-oop.
No, you're good. No.
Yeah, I'm sure he gonna have his little
Touche.
wrinkles in his program, and I'm
Mhm.
not, bro. I think it just depends on who we get these next coaches. Who gonna coach these offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator? That's gonna scream a lot in what direction we going in. I just can't tell until we do that.
Mhm.
I can't.
Well, that's fair.
But with his scheme, you know, he know how to hold down the defense. If we do end up with a middle of the tier defense at least, then it's not gonna go lower than that. You know what I'm saying? Every week our defense gonna
Mhm.
show up for the most part, I think.
Right. No, I
Once
think.
we get it instituted, you know.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. You know, what would you guys feel like if you brought back a familiar face as the defensive coordinator?
Lane
All
Kiffin,
right, I already know who you're talking about.
Somebody who's been a
His
defensive coordinator here
Dennis
before,
Allen,
and
his son is playing quarterback for us.
Bradley.
Gus Bradley.
Okay. Hey, I'm down for it.
He's available.
Look. I'll keep this short and sweet. The only bad things that I've heard, about Pete Carroll was his age. That's the top thing that I've been hearing about is his age. And then there's a little tiny talk where I hear about who can he bring in as OC or DC. But I'm not even tripping off that. I'm good. And I heard all kinds of things about who he could bring in as OC, DC. Well, one thing we know for sure, it won't be Robert Saleh because he's officially back with the San Francisco 49ers, or should I say the Santa Clara Niners now. And I'm just fully confident. I'm all systems go. I have the shifter push forward right now, and I'm fully confident.
Good
Yeah.
point. PG could be in the mix. It does seem like he missed out this cycle. And yes, maybe Rob Moner does get promoted. It seems like we're hanging on to him on staff and gets to learn along with Pete. That'd be cool. It will
Also,
be
too.
awesome.
So, I've heard now. I don't know if this is true or not, but I have heard that since Patrick Graham has not officially received a head coach offer yet, there's a possibility that Pete might want to retain him on the roster. So
Right. That's what. Yeah. Patrick Graham could definitely be coming back. And let's see. Let's get back to it. Oh yeah, this is a good one. I will be happy to see him play against Harbaugh again.
Oh yeah, it's dude, it is great, and it's great for business for the NFL too. And as much as I like Harbaugh, right now I'm like F Harbaugh. It's all Pete time, And Pete, I hope he chews his gum and smacks it in his face.
Yeah. Well, we know statistically,
They're soft
Pete
dude
Carroll Pete
guy.
Carroll has been Harbaugh's daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see how that plays out. I know they'll be having, when that time comes, we'll see a whole lot of graphics on how Pete Carroll has been Harbaugh's daddy. So
Yeah.
that we have an up on that too.
Mm-hmm. We do.
Yep. And Harbaugh is the only coach in our division who has not won a Super Bowl. So now going into the season, I feel like we don't have the worst coach in the AFC West, and I'm confident in a lot of aspects with
That's
Pete
true.
Carroll.
I mean, that's why Harbaugh fits with the Chargers, because they ain't got no rings and he ain't got no rings. So
Exactly.
let them both be ringless over there.
Exactly. They're chargeless. They're that broken charger cord thing that you use.
Chargerless.
It's like You put
broken
it, you plug it in, and then you be like, God damn it! I've had this thing plugged up this whole time. It's not even charging.
Hey, so I'll just say this: they're about to be discharged right now when Pete Carroll gets there and whoops that ass.
Yeah, I
Did
think
you
I
say they're
think
going to be like discharged? That's gross, man.
No.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I
With your filth.
quote
but
you?
hey,
Phil,
I
Discharge, like a discharge.
I
Come
I
on.
I, I agree with Black though. I think as soon as as soon as Pete Carroll could really get his hands, saying on this roster and get it to the way that he wants it, I think we're gonna look a whole lot better. I think there's pieces here, and the positive I said, there's positives and negatives to this team, and one of the positives and negatives is that we have the money, we have the money
Mhm.
to get players, and then there's the free agency, the 27 or whatever amount of guys that we need to consider bringing back. Well, as a head coach, now you got a choice to say, hey, you know, if you ain't under contract, you can walk and I ain't got to worry about you. You know what I'm saying? So it
Right.
kind of
He's not
gives,
married
it
to
gives, yeah, it gives Pete Carroll a lot of flexibility to really build out, him and Spytech to build out this team, in the ways that he feels for us to come. Us moving forward, excuse me.
hmm No, you're right. I mean, he's not tied to any of these players, so it could be a little bit of a scary season for folks who are tied to certain people. Um, so yeah, there's that. So and not
I
for the
think
faint of heart. There.
I think
Mhm.
Merrick is a key piece now,
oh,
even more than ever. And the reason
Yep.
why I say is that is because if we stick with Patrick Graham, Merrick is a key piece to that's the back end of our defense. And if he decided, like you said, if you proposed the Gus Bradley, guess who was the
hmm
safety, the starting safety for Gus Bradley is Merrick.
hmm
So,
Eric.
I think that would be a good,
hmm
pickup for us, whether we stick with Patrick Graham or if we go back to that cover three style of defense.
Yeah. No, I think you might be right. Um, yeah. I mean, the Earl Thomas role in that defense is really the Superman role, right? Um,
Hmm.
you know, when you coordinate offense or defense, right, you're just moving things around, and eventually you settle on there's certain players that are going to have to be excellent in this defense, certain positions in order for it to work.
yeah.
And that center fielder free safety is that spot
Almighty.
in the cover three. The better you are at that, the more range and ability and instinct you play with, the better that defense becomes. Earl Thomas was the the stick the stir of the drink, right?
Mm.
Like he was the thing that made it go. And then once you don't have that player in that defense, it looks a whole lot different.
But we got
Because
that at safety though. We got good two good safeties though.
right,
So
right. So that's why Mary, Palmau, you know,
yeah.
Trey Taylor hopefully gets to play football with us at some
Dude,
point. Right?
dude,
Oh,
he is
he's
still
on the team.
I thought he
dude,
was
I'm
still on
telling
the
you,
team. Yeah.
he's on the
I'm,
back
I'm, I'm joking,
of a
man.
freaking
We love you, Trey.
milk
Please come
carton.
back.
You
Yeah.
you you better start playing, Trey.
Uh, he better play. At least we have a coach that knows when to
I'm
call a
here.
timeout
I'm here.
or a challenge and will manage the clock correctly.
May spit fire, always spitting that fire, because hey, I cannot say it better. I cannot say it better.
What a relief. I thought that was,
Perfectly said.
I
Perfectly
mean,
said.
yeah, I mean, hit the like or just hit the dislike if you just really hate
Look,
us. Maybe
hey, if
that's what
you
it
like
is.
it, you like it. If you don't like it, you can get
Mm-hmm.
86 out of here. Make sure you
Hey,
go
hey,
go toward. Hey, if you don't like it, then why are you here? Why are you watching? You
don't
know,
leave. Stay. Stay and hate it.
So if this was on my live, I'd be like, y'all motherfuckers get the fuck out. But hey, make sure if you do enjoy the content, go to Hot channel, which you're on now, hit the like and the sub. If you're on Hot, Blacks, go on Blacks, hit a like and a sub. If you're on my boy Raider Twan, great dude with great takes, go on his shit, hit like and sub.
Go hit that sub button.
And then of course mine, I'm always doing some crazy shit. You go on mine, you can like it, or you don't have to.
They always have to remind me.
Don't give a shit.
I try to care, but I don't care. I want you to enjoy yourself and sub and like and all that good stuff, but I figure you'll do that if you want to. If you don't want
I ain't gonna be that guy in here begging for all that shit. So
it's cool, man. I'll find some people who do. I'll find some people.
It comes natural. It comes natural with the gift of gab. So
yeah, hit the likes if you're enjoying it. You're here. I figure you probably like it a little bit, but you know what? I'll win you over eventually.
Hey, look, I got a Bears fan who subbed here, and he comes over here on our content. So come on, like.
That's right, Bear man.
So it sounds like to me that there's really not really much concerns about Pete Carroll. If all we're talking about is his age.
Yeah, no.
That's just what I'm gathering.
That's
exactly that's all that's ever been brought up. Yeah,
the number one thing that I hear when they say about Pete Carroll about the bad thing is his age. And I was getting killed for bringing this up before it even happened. And I called it. I'm pretty good at calling shit out before it happens. But I won't go out and say breaking news first. I'm the first one who does it. No, I lay low in the cut secretly, and I wait to attack. You know what I mean? And we did it, and I've been pretty damn on point with all of the shit that I felt was gonna happen pertaining to our team. So for all y'all who's saying no, Pete Carroll don't have a chance and all that, well, guess what? Look what happened today. Today is a new day.
Yeah, you weren't here, Twan, but they murdered my boy. When we brought up Pete Carroll, for some reason I got a pass, but they murdered this man. Oh, there's not a chance in hell. You're crazy. You're just making up crazy stories about an old senile man. It was bad. So
yep.
Well, hey,
he was right.
What is it? Tricks on you. I feel like, and you guys maybe can correct me on this, but I think Pete Carroll was a part of the first grouping of interviews that came in.
He was.
So obviously,
he was the first in-person interview we had.
Yes.
So obviously, this organization was very high on looking to see, what was cooking with that. The other person that I'm interested in hearing about, even though it hasn't matured to its point yet, but, why did they bring in Ron Rivera? You know what I'm saying? What was the reasoning as to bringing him in? You know what I'm saying? I was on your guys' chat. I forgot what day it was, but I said the grumpy old men. You know what I'm saying? Bring in Pete Carroll. Go ahead and get Bruce Arians and Ron Rivera. Let's make it the golden guys. You know what I'm saying?
Golden guys.
Golden guys. You know
Pause.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm joking about that. But I'm really interested to hear about why did they bring in Ron Rivera? What did because interviews, as much as some people have not been privy to certain interviews like that, an interview is really not just for the person coming in applying for the job. You're actually gathering information. You know what I'm saying? They're asking you questions, and you have the right to ask them questions. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a real interview is. So I'm wondering what they gathered from Ron Rivera, because Ron Rivera is another guy that has an encyclopedia of information. You know what I'm saying? As much as he's been in the league and around the league.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
coordinator possibility there. Possibly, you know what I mean? Maybe they were just trying to kind of gather some information about the Commanders situation because this was deep into the Carroll thing, right? Rivera having been in the Commanders organization, maybe they wanted to get some information there about, some of the framing of how that organization runs. I think, you know, I don't see, I didn't see him as a serious head coaching candidate, right? So it felt like information gathering maybe was going on there. But I don't know. That was interesting to me.
They do, and I'll throw this out here as you're talking. I'm just trying to gather. You know, when people
Mm-hmm.
talk, I kind of get information, right?
Mm-hmm.
There might be a situation where he comes in and he does kind of like Rob Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Be the senior, the senior
Mm-hmm.
analyst on the defensive side
Mm-hmm.
of the ball, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be, he might necessarily not be a coordinator or anything like that, but he might come in and say, hey, we did want to talk to you about being a head coach, but you know, what do you think about joining us as a senior analyst or whatever? And
Mm-hmm.
hey, if he wants to collect a check, that might be an opportunity for him to get a little money. You know what I'm saying too, and still be that that resource for whoever comes in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just have to say, on Ron Rivera, I think we're just doing our due diligence with him, and we're just trying to see where his head was at. We asked him questions. He's asking us things too, right? But I'll say, I am not very high on him being a head coach for us. If anything, he might have been a consolation if we didn't get Pete and Carroll. But I would entertain him as a defensive coordinator. Yes, I'm all in with that. But as a head coach for us, that's something that was a coaching hire that I would not like. And I understand he went to the Super Bowl with the Panthers, but he had a good team. He had Cam, but then when he went to the Washington football team, it wasn't the best times there, for him. But I'll just say that if Pete could bring him in as a defensive coordinator, then yes. But I was not as high on him as others may have been for him being our head coach.
Yeah. I didn't, like I said, I didn't see that as a serious head coaching candidacy. I hope it was not. Who knows? Brady might have decided to take a look at him, due to, familiarity playing against him or something. That's a good question. I don't know if we'll ever really know. It could be that Pete, like you said, is considering having him come over and give some of his expertise like Rob Ryan did. I wouldn't say he was a failure as a head coach, but there were some questions and stuff.
Yeah, there's ups and downs,
right? I think he actually had Norv Turner and the Turners on his staff at one point, so that's pretty funny. And I think they all ended up getting fired after that, so pretty funny.
And Steve Spagnuolo, I wasn't high on him either, so that's why
you weren't high on Spags.
No. If you think about his previous tenure as a head coach, it was not swell at all. He's one of those guys that now some coordinators are meant to be coordinators, and Spags is the perfect prime example of that. And I understand we had a web interview with him, right? But I think it was just to pick his brain, which I think was good on our side. So he's telling us, okay, well, I see as your team, as the Raiders, you could fix this, you could do this, you could do this. So that's good on our side, and for Tom Brady to kind of see where that was, right? But if he now, once again, if he was to be our defensive coordinator, which won't happen, but that would be something that I would entertain. But him and
Hmm.
Ron Rivera, Ron Rivera is a little bit higher on the head coaching tier than uh, Steve Spagnuolo, but yeah, I was not high on both those guys.
Mm, mm, mm. So let's talk about the coordinator stuff. I started to broach it and I didn't complete it. So, offensive coordinator, I want us to take a look at Josh McCown. All right, like
That's your boy.
quarterback coach, Minnesota Raiders former quarterback. I just heard good things, and I just would like us to be grooming someone who can, on the offensive side, who could possibly take over for Pete. Because having the play caller be your head coach and not in over their head is a real advantage.
Who is
Um,
this again?
the quarterback's coach for Minnesota Vikings, Josh McCown, who's
Oh, got it.
previous, yep, previously
Yeah,
a
Hot's
Raiders
very, very high
coach.
on him, and I heard nobody else who brings him up except for you, brother. So I give you props on that because he could be those guys,
Yeah.
that's kind of like hidden in the dark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's going to be kind of the next flavor thing soon here. I
Usually,
think, yeah.
So
usually
he
those backup quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying, um, have really good experience. You know what I'm saying. You think about all the backup quarterbacks that are now coaches. You know they do pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that might be an option. And you know
You know.
he's under that O'Connell guy over there that seems to get that offense had that offense smoking. So you know
Mm-hmm.
whatever he can bring, you know
Yeah.
that might be an option. I'm just playing off of what you're cooking, bro.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
right.
Um.
So there's a guy who just got let go. Who I would like Pete to at least grab the phone and call him and just see where his brain's at.
Mm-hmm.
You know where I'm going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is it?
Mm-hmm. Bobby Slowick.
Bobby Boucher. Nah, but yeah,
Bobby
yes,
Boucher. What
yes.
happened
I
there,
would,
huh?
I would, definitely entertain that, option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good locker room guy. You're right. Former Raider, so some of that there. But yeah, Slowick. I mean, I understand the Texans and they kind of regressed a little bit this year. At the quarterback position specifically. So I get that, but they were in the playoffs 2 years in a row. He did design an offense that had a rookie quarterback excel. Players broke out, so there's some of that, and so that's interesting. I would definitely take a look at him. Um,
Mm. And
Anybody
then,
else?
so
Yeah.
sorry for the interruption, but one last thing, because I feel like so there's only like a few people who brought this up, but I'm really high as an offensive coordinator too is Chip Kelly. That's
See, yeah, I heard you say that before. I mean, inventive
so I
guy.
you know
Thoughts on Chip Kelly, guys, as a
head
coordinator?
coach
I
horrible as a
I
OC. I just feel like he would do great.
I think that might be, and I'm just playing narratives right now for what you guys are saying. I think that might be a narrative, right? You bring in a Chip Kelly, what I'm saying, that is a good offensive coordinator, but we all know that the baton has to be passed, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what if Pete Carroll was grooming Chip Kelly
Mm,
to be the head coach when he's done?
mm,
You know what I'm saying? He's sitting there, he knows everything, he's figured it out. You know what I'm saying? He's growing, right? Because he's the assistant to Pete Carroll,
Good point.
so it could be, that might be a path for Chip Kelly. Is like, hey, come in as my offensive coordinator, but no, in a couple of years, I'm gonna be on my way out. And this position possibly could be yours based on. I'll do it based off of
Damn.
your offensive performance, right? If you get this
Mhm.
offense cooking, I'll put your name in the hat when I walk out.
Interesting. Because it's what's interesting to me is I feel like the things that Chip Kelly lacked as a head coach are exactly the things that Pete Carroll is strong at.
See,
So it's one of those funny
yeah,
little combinations that could actually
yeah.
end up working.
I,
Pretty
I
funny.
got I got I got exactly what you need to get to the next level. Come
What
come
you
over
Hmm.
here,
mean?
come over
What
here and
Pete
work with
Carroll
me.
like black players and Chip Kelly don't? Y'all don't remember
It's
Chip
an
Kelly?
awkward silence.
I'm trying to understand what he's saying. What'd you say,
Yeah.
brother?
Oh, y'all remember? This is the same Chip Kelly that was with the Eagles, right?
LaShawn
Hmm.
McCoy came out with some, things.
He was the only one. He was just the
I know
loudest one.
him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But he was the main
He was
voice
talking,
of it.
yeah, and he was telling some of the stuff that Chip Kelly was doing, crazy work. But I'm just asking. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe I could look at him for his body of work. I never just been a Chip Kelly fan, regardless of even of the allegations. But I don't care. Like, I don't care, man. If you got experience calling plays in the NFL, you should be able to call plays in the NFL. Like, if they bring you in and you got any kind of experience calling plays in the NFL, they expect you to call plays and they expect you to call plays. So I don't. There's no wiggle room for that. Like, we'll know within the first couple seasons if it's going to work or not.
Yeah. I
Mm,
mean, that's for true. 100%. Um, Mason Fart makes a good point. Could have just have been a sophomore slump for CJ Stroud, and
That's
they're
what I'm thinking.
putting that on Bobby, and it's really not Bobby's fault.
But I don't know why they got rid
I
of the coordinator. There's something else going on. It's something that we don't know about.
I think so too with Stroud. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it. When he came out so hot. You know what I'm saying? Like he came out, a real streaming, ascending,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, type of guy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not
Mm-hmm.
normal for a rookie, any rookie to really do
Mm-hmm.
so. The
Yeah.
the sophomore slump is more, you know what I'm saying, I would say more acceptable in
Yeah.
his, you know what I'm saying? It's like what they say, that the bigger you are, the harder, the harder they fall, or
You
whatever,
fall.
the.
Right.
Yeah, so the higher he went, obviously the drop is going. There's going to be a drop, and
But,
hey,
It's
let me tell you
called
now,
tape.
year
yeah, but
one,
it's not like he lost his
he
position.
was up.
You don't get rid of the coordinator over it, though. Y'all,
Yeah.
they even won a first round playoff game this year. So it's
Right.
not it's not the play. It's something else going on. Like somebody messing with somebody's wife.
They had tape, guys. They had tape on Stroud in the offense, and so it wasn't as
Yeah,
I'm the
easy.
I'm the
yeah, that's
first
true.
person to
That's
say
true.
that. I'm always the first person to say that. Like once the NFL catch up with you, that's why you better be working out in the off season. But what I'm saying is this: even with Stroud having a bad season or whatever you want to call it, that's not cause for you to get rid of the coordinator. And y'all went to the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
But it
the second
is.
round.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something else going on. It's not football related.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, black, it is. It's called politics. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get
Well,
rid of that flashy quarterback, right? You're gonna have to get rid of somebody. Is going to have to fall
so what did he do
for.
wrong then to get fired?
No, I'm
Nothing.
not. I'm
Nothing.
not saying. I'm not saying
Scapegoat.
that he was worthy of it, but
exactly. Scapegoat.
when yeah,
So that means
it was a
right. So
scapegoat.
it's something off the field. It had nothing to do with the field. It's something off the field.
Politics. Exactly.
Yeah, something off the field.
So
I
if I
think this
had
is
to,
a.
So for us,
throw
for us
darts,
to look at what's going on the field, it doesn't really make sense because the reason why is the change is happening because of something off the field. Like something is happening. We don't know what it. I don't know what it is anyway. But
Mhm.
dude got fired and he was doing good, just like Telesco asked.
yeah. So my three choices, and this ain't in no order. I'm throwing darts to the dartboard here, hoping Pete Carroll he'll grab his phone and call him. Bobby Slowick, Chip Kelly, and Mike LaFleur. Those will be the three that I would like him to grab that phone and call him and be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Interesting. I like this one here. Aubrey Pleasant, offensive coordinator. He's a passing game coordinator and assistant head coach for the Rams currently. 11 years of coaching experience. BBZ. I like this.
I've heard that name too. I've heard, yeah. So there's a bunch of names out there. Bunch of names.
Mhm. So
Hey, what's
yeah,
the
we got
latest
some
on Clint Kubiak?
That's
Clint Kubiak. That's a good call.
that is a good one too.
He has not got a head coaching position or anything like that. Let's see where Clint is.
So if you garbage,
Yeah, I'll throw
all you gotta
him
do is sit out 2
in there
years and
too.
people want you again.
Who's that? What do you mean? You talking
Like
about Chippy?
no, even Kubiak, wasn't he the head coach of the Texans at one point?
No.
No,
That's Gary.
yeah,
Oh,
Gary. Yeah, Gary Kubiak.
Yeah.
oh.
We're talking about young Clint. Well, not young, but younger than me, Clint.
Did he play football or did he just watch his brother?
Huh?
Did
I
his
think
brother?
he,
I know Kubiak played for Denver.
yeah.
That's a good question.
No, Clint. Did he play? I don't remember him being a player ever. Maybe he did.
I'll look it
He's
up.
from Colorado. They were out there in Colorado because of the whole like Kubiak's in Colorado thing.
Oh my God! You talk about what's that word y'all used the other day? Yeah, big old fancy $10 word. What was the name? When your father gets you in nepotism.
Nepotism.
That's what this
Okay,
started.
so
sounding like.
there's a lot of Kubiak happening. Okay, in the NFL, this is true.
And he wasn't even a good quarterback. But that don't mean nothing because just because you wasn't a good quarterback don't mean you can't be a good coach.
The thing about Clint Kubiak is this wouldn't be his first coordinator position. He did have the job in Minnesota, and that did not work out for him. He was in Denver as a passing game coordinator and quarterbacks coach for a year.
Oh, this guy.
Then he went to
the
the
offensive
Niners,
coordinator for the Saints.
and he's currently the coordinator for the
They didn't fire him.
No,
No, they got rid of Dennis Allen, right?
they did.
But they didn't get rid of him. Yeah. He's supposed to. Well, why did they give him the job?
They haven't given anyone the job yet, right? Did the Saints hire? They haven't hired anybody. So I know that they were looking at Aaron Glenn, and he took the Jets job. So we'll see what happens here. This would be awesome. Richard Sherman is the DB coach. Pete Carroll does that kind of thing. He does. He might bring a former player in and put him as a position coach, or as a quality coach, and move him up. So we'll see. But yeah, what were you saying, Tom?
You play safety.
Yeah, anytime they fire a head coach, the coordinators are definitely on notice. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whether the interim, is there or not, the coordinators pretty much know their job is not secure.
Yeah, but if they get rid of him, he's not gonna be unemployed long at all. Clint Kubiak, they talked high of him because of how he had that offense going. It's just that his car, like his car and that whole little thing that was going on. I don't think it was offensive coordinator, but he should be on notice. But he did play safety at Colorado State University.
Okay. There you go.
And he was a team captain as a senior. Okay. And he played in the East-West Shrine game. Okay.
Get it,
He made it to the Shrine game. Okay,
right, that's what I said. He even made it to the Shrine game. Okay,
so he's pretty damn good.
Get it, Clint.
Look at that.
Get it, Clint.
Yeah. Well, Gary Kubiak, handed him the offensive coordinator job in 21 when he retired. And I think this is the second time around for the Minnesota Vikings. And so he also had 2 stints with the Broncos, and then a year with the Niners and now with the Saints. So the Niners, obviously, he was with his brother there too. So a lot of being with family on staff. But he was the new offensive coordinator for the 2024 season, and that Saints offense was much better organized than it was the year before. Obviously, Carr looked way better, although still
Damn, they got more QBX
too
in the
many
league.
injuries. Yeah, there's a few of those.
They got Clay, he the offensive coordinator for the 49ers, and Klein, the scout for the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's a lot.
They like the football, okay?
So
Richard Sherman. What do you guys think about him coming over?
Yeah, I do it.
Do what?
Why not? Why not?
To learn to be a coach and cut his teeth and eventually, be
You know what? I want to be a coach now. Where I sign up?
As much as I like Richard Sherman, I would say no.
Hell no, I don't want that.
I would say no.
Dude
He does.
here.
He does have knowledge. I'm not saying. I'm not discrediting.
But the
that.
personality is a little too much.
No, not even that. I just feel like, we need to have guys with experience coming in. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, Pete Carroll's not enough experience, but I'm looking at, for years to come, I think, if we have some guys that already know what to do, let's go ahead and make this. My dream for this team is that we make an all-star, all-star cast. You know what I'm saying? Have the Pete Carroll and then have a good name, on the offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball, have a good name. Yeah. Kind of similar to what Detroit did. They had 2 guys that are pretty much now they're head coaches, you know what I'm saying? And that's why they were where they were, because their offensive coordinator was good, their defensive coordinator was good, and Dan Campbell was, motivating those guys and getting them ready for battle. So
they had the top. Go ahead, my bad.
No, I'm just saying. So I would like to see that with Pete Carroll. I would love, as like I said, Pete Carroll does have the experience, but I would love to have experience on all sides of the ball, including our special teams.
But did we forgot that Richard Sherman just said that if they fire AP, then the Raiders is bogus in the whole 9, and they set him up and all that. Y'all forgot that?
He also talked about how us hiring Pete Carroll was a genius stroke, and he was.
Yeah, I saw that video.
But I'm just saying, his prior statement to that is how we reacted to it. Don't y'all remember?
He was going in.
Yeah, he was.
It's true. I ain't gonna lie about that one.
Hey, so I just have to say here, May Spitfire dropping that fire, saying they should put a sign up in the locker room that says "Run the damn ball." That would be hilarious if they did do that.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah, in regards to Pete Carroll. And I agree when you're in the red zone and you got a good back, you run the ball.
No, forget that. When you got beast mode, that's the factor.
Yeah.
Because they can stop players. It's just beast mode. Like, you're at the 1. I mean, like, if he wouldn't have kicked a little bit, he would have scored before that.
I
just have to say I understand with beast mode too, but I'm gonna say when you have a good back that's in the tier, of those higher tier backs, you run the damn ball. But I get your point though with beast mode.
I feel like it's a little bit of revisionist history, folks. I just want to say that. Yeah. It's like after the fact, we were 2020 vision and all that shit. But like second down, there have been many coaches that have thrown a pass from the 1 on second down because you're going 4, and if you don't go on second, then you have to run every down, and it becomes predictable. There have been times where guys that ran a first, second, third, fourth, and never threw the ball and didn't get it in, and we called them shit for it. So,
bro, if you
Not
at the
true.
10, if you at the 10, right, or at the 9, and you hand the ball off to your running back, and he get to the 3-yard line, you gonna give him the ball again. I don't give a damn.
No, that's facts.
You gonna
That's
give
true.
him the ball. It ain't like he ran 2 yards. He ran like 5, 6 yards down there. And I'm telling you, he almost scored on that play
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah. I just watched that game all over again because I'm all up in the Pete Carroll shit. And
What was the
that
play
is
before?
one
Did
that
they
is
run on first down?
so that is one stain, one big stain on his shit is that he should have ran the ball with Beast
I
Mode.
don't hold it against him though, because like you said, a pass right there, if you gonna pass it, that's when you better pass it. Like I get it.
Hey, look.
It. But what happened was it was a player because Bill Belichick, I want you to watch every slot corner play this year by this team. And what happened is Butler saw it on tape and he ran downhill and he stole the ball. That's all it was.
If I was a Seahawks fan to this day, I would still be pissed off that they didn't run that ball.
oh, they are.
I would still be
Yeah.
pissed. I'd be super pissed.
They're
Is-
still pissed. Yeah.
I think you said it too. You know, West Conference. I think it's one of those things where, unfortunately, with Pete Carroll, like you said, he was that one kid with the white T-shirt and drank the red Kool-Aid, and the stain that hit his shirt wasn't a small stain. It actually was a big stain, and I think unfortunately the one mess up that he had was that, and that's why everybody for years and years, I don't even know how long. I'm waiting on the day that scenario dies, and I don't think
It
it
will not.
hasn't.
won't.
It
ain't.
hasn't died. You know what I'm saying?
It
So
will not, yeah.
unfortunately, that's just the cross he's going to have to carry, and us even as Raiders that this is our guy now, and we're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he'll make the same mistake twice, though, going into it. And I'm hoping we could go to the promised land. And if we do end up in the same situation as the Seahawks, I guarantee you and I promise you that he's going to run the ball.
He's going to run the ball. Yeah, he already apologized real deep for that one. And guys, Pete Carroll did not call that play. He just allowed the offensive coordinator to call that play. So,
yeah whoever.
Please say that again.
Whoever.
Please say that again.
Pete Carroll did not call that play. He allowed his offensive coordinator to call the play.
Pete Carroll, though, should have known better, though. He should have been like, Vito.
He said as much himself.
Hey, did y'all see what Beast Mode said? He said if y'all look at the video, they was calling the play. When the play came in and everybody looked in the huddle and everybody was looking at Russell like, what are you talking about, right?
Yep.
He said they broke the huddle. You could see Beast Mode flipping off Carroll on the sideline because he, instead of being on this side of the quarterback, he had to go to this side. Remember, he went to the left side, ran the little out or whatever. The ball wasn't even going to him at all. So I don't know who called it, but the fact that that whole dynamic was messed up, it ended up on Pete Carroll because he's the head coach. Like, I get it. Like, you taking it for the offensive coordinator. I don't even know who the offensive coordinator was, but he shouldn't have let that happen. Like, everybody in the huddle knew. Like, even if Russell Wilson would have changed that play, I think everybody would have went to bat for Russell Wilson and his career would have did something different had he. It would have been talking about it on podcasts right now. Had he did that.
He almost did. He almost did.
Yeah, he did say he almost did. I think he said that.
He said he almost just said, let's just run what we want to run in the dirt.
So, speaking of Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited himself, I'm sure you guys heard, all these things too. There's rumors that he could possibly reunite with Pete Carroll here in Vegas. I'm hearing all kinds of things. I've heard that Geno Smith, as soon as Pete Carroll was officially hired, he was posting pictures of himself with Pete Carroll on Instagram. So I don't know if that's kind of like good job, Pete Carroll, for getting hired, or if he's like trying to say, hey, let's run it back. There's also the things that I hear with, Russell Wilson, so who knows what will unfold going forward, because there's so much just churning in that wheel right now.
Look for Pete Carroll to bring players from the Seattle Seahawks. There may be something that comes. DK Metcalf.
Oh yeah, in a
Hell
trade,
no.
I have I have heard that too. Where if we were to make a splash this offseason for a big receiver, he would be the guy. And then one quick little thing here too, that Russell Wilson said that he wanted to play with us last year.
He did. And you know who said no?
Ooh.
AP. Said he
Oh,
couldn't get him in his locker room, couldn't fit in the locker room with us.
So that's why Antonio Pierce is, hey boys, just take him behind back and whack him, huh? Yeah.
We like, hey, I heard you like going fishing. Let's go fishing.
Tonight you're gonna sleep with the fishes, huh?
Yeah.
There has been reports about Russell Wilson and some of the concessions that he has, in regards to him playing quarterback. So I don't know, if Antonio Pierce was willing to, make sure that he had green M&Ms and, the right, the diet, Mountain Dew and everything else in his green room. Because I think there was a report that Russell Wilson does not like being in the locker room. He likes to be he likes his own room. Before games. So there's a whole lot of like I said, concessions that might have to take place to bring in a Russell Wilson, and
I've also
maybe
heard
Pete
that-
Carroll was able to do that. And that's
Apologize.
why they worked well. But yeah, I don't think AP was willing to make sure green M&Ms and everything else was ready before the games.
So I also heard that Aaron Rodgers could be a possibility too. So they're throwing a lot of things out there. But I just will say this, that if for some reason, if the powers may be so going forward, if Russell Wilson somehow finds his way to our team, I just know that when he plays Denver, he's going to play his fucking heart out.
Yeah. Plus, they're going to pay for him for another year. So let's take that Mexico money and build the wall, right? The coordinator was Daryl. What?
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was funny. I was
just Daryl Bevel was the coordinator for the Seahawks at the time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Daryl Bevel. Now, if there's a cautionary tale for Pete, it's picking coordinators. Brian Schottenheimer,
who just got named the Cowboys head coach right now.
Did he get named the Cowboys head coach?
He's Dallas's brand new head coach in Jerry World. He's running the show in Jerry World.
Wow.
What's McCarthy doing?
What is McCarthy doing? Bring in McCarthy as the.
That will be an amazing offensive coordinator too.
His offense ain't too bad.
It's not,
especially with what they had over there and what he was making do with what they had. Yeah, buddy.
And he's a champion.
Yeah, yes he is. Yeah. If you bring over McCarthy, does that mean Aaron Rodgers is coming? And if Aaron Rodgers is coming, does that mean
locked-in thing?
Devontae comes back?
Oh my goodness gracious! We're going down that pipeline right now, ladies and gentlemen.
That is a great question, Raider Nation. Are we willing to bring Devontae back? Are we accepting him?
Man, this is the most toxic family ever. We just ran him up the flagpole And then now we gonna talk about yeah, we blasted you on IG and Facebook, but if you want to come back, it's cool.
Hey,
We
he
love
came
you.
out himself too and said that he would come back to our team. You know what I mean? So
Talking about they
look,
used to
hey.
abuse me over there. They was trying to kill me over there, but I love them. I'm gonna go back. What?
Hey, if
You
Rogers
can't quit us. You
look,
can't quit us.
Yeah, you can't quit us.
Aaron Rodgers is gone, who's gonna throw it to him? So right now he's having buyer's remorse right now, and he's like, "What the fuck did
Yeah,
I
if
do?"
anybody got buyer's remorse, is him because he didn't bought 2 lemons.
So listen.
I don't blame him. He went to go to somewhere that someone was going. Well, they were going to allow somebody to throw him the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
but
he's
who
looking for
messed
someone
that up?
now. He's looking for someone now to go ahead and throw him the ball.
They messed that up because when he was with Derek Carr, that worked just fine. They was doing just fine.
That's
Right?
true. That's true. Who knows? Who knows what is gonna happen? We're almost 3 hours on this live.
Almost.
Yeah.
We're going to cut it off at 3 hours. I
We're
know.
almost at 3 hours. That
You
is
know,
one
Professor,
full WrestleMania show. It's 3
you know,
hours long.
Professor, we only meet once a week, so it's 3 hours to get full credit, full units.
Listen,
Want your
listen.
3 units.
If you want credit for this class, you need to
Yeah.
attend. Attendance is important.
Attendance is important.
Make sure you go after this class. You go to lab. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and make sure you complete all the tasks
Study.
in the lab. Yeah.
Yep.
And
You're going to have
stay out of
homework.
trouble, knuckleheads.
Yeah. Stay out of trouble.
I got study hall in my room if y'all want to pull up.
Yeah, just he'll study up. Just make sure you watch what
Hey,
you're smoking.
I studies. I'm good.
I studied mine.
He said, "I
One-
studies."
One
I got
more
the
colossal
studies.
thought, guys. One more colossal thought. Shador seems to be gettable.
Yeah.
Look, he
Dion-
could possibly go to us without trading up.
Without trading up. Dion has talked about wanting to coach his sons. Did he say it had to be head coach his sons?
He didn't say that. I don't like you, man.
Goodbye
Is
to
a
the
de-
3. Goodbye to the 3 hours. By the way,
Is a
No,
defensive
I'm just going.
'Cause this
I'm just
discussion is gonna
saying he
take a
didn't
while.
say that. He did not say that. But how much
Is
money?
it-
But the question is, how much money he making in Colorado? Like he got to be a major coach to get paid close to
like
the
a
same.
defensive coordinator, assistant head coach, succession plan kind of guy?
Now, if they was grooming him to be the coach
There
of the
you
future
go.
under Pete Carroll,
Plus
that
his,
would
son, plus his sons are gone too, so I don't think his heart would be fully invested back in college. And I bet you, if he had the chance to coach his son in Vegas, he would do it.
if he was the assistant head coach under Pete Carroll,
Hey, I take it.
so we get Shador first, right? Woo! Oh my God, we somehow got him! Oh my freaking God! Spygate, spy hunter. Then all of a sudden, the next day, Coach Deion Sanders is going to be the assistant head coach, the presumable incumbent. Oh my freaking God! So we got the best of both worlds. Right? Let me stop. I'm playing with my own mind. That sounds like that's too smart. That sounds like Tom Brady type shit. No, let me stop. Because that would be brilliant if we could do that. Because I don't think he's ready right now. Because like I said, he ain't won no big games. But if he was under Pete Carroll, he put himself in best position to win those games. And I got confidence in him as a person and a coach, and as an ex-player, that he'll give us a great shot to be good for the next 5 years. And then let the chips fall as they may. That's all we can ask, really.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying. That's all.
You just asked a question and you let me go off. Participation points is important in class too.
Extremely important. I graded a curve, and participation is a huge part of it. So, class, watch how this
I,
man is doing it.
And
I'm on
participate and hit the like button.
That's right.
I'm on the opposing curve.
Here
That's
we
a
go.
no.
He said, "Not even happening." Let's
No.
go.
Tell him.
He said that's
Tell
a
him,
no.
Twan. Tell him, Twan.
Because I don't think Prime is going to come if he's not going to be the head coach. And
Really?
especially when it comes to the money situation, he's going to
Mm-hmm.
want the dollar. You know what I'm saying? So are we forking out the
Mm-hmm.
dollar for him just to be, an assistant head coach? And what is he going to coach? Has he
There's no
been an
cap.
off? Has he been? Well, I know that, but what has he done as a coach? He's been a
He's
head
gonna be
coach,
a
but
head coach.
has he been a defensive head coach? Has he been a defensive coordinator? Has he
He got more
ran so?
experience than AP.
Because the last time I checked at Colorado, he doesn't do X's and O's.
He ain't
He
got
has an
to.
offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator to do exactly what he needs to get done. So I don't
That is true.
know. I don't know what he'll be coaching. You know what I'm
The
saying?
same he'll be coaching
If
the
he
same
did,
thing that we had them 8 old coaches coaching. He'll be able to put one coach there instead of all them Marvin Lewis and all them. Get rid of all them advisors and all that. They out of here. All you gotta do is have Dion shadow him. We'll have an offensive coordinator. We'll have a defensive coordinator, and Dion will sit there with his little headset on, walking next to the old buddy, and then they just be up there doing their thing. He can start off in the booth. I don't care where he at. But
I
if he's sitting there getting on the job training at the same time, I think that he like I said, he had more experience than AP and he was our head coach. And then
I
about
get
the
that.
money, it ain't about the money. I don't coach for money. I got money. He ain't
I
worried about money. I was
I
good with my boys.
I I
I don't give
I
a darn
get it.
about money.
I really do. I really do. I get it. But I still feel like he would not take the position just to be not to be the main guy. You know what I'm saying? So I would say no. I do, but I will say on the other side of the conversation that you said, black, I mean not black, hotspot. I think there is an opportunity to get Shador just based on the draft. The way that I see it, there's three teams above us that actually do need a quarterback. Now we'll
Mhm.
see if one of them are stupid enough not to go get a quarterback. We'll go see,
Cleveland
you know, if
Browns.
we'll see if obviously Hunter is going to be one of those guys in the top three, and one of those guys and one of those teams. And well, actually, I would say I think the top three teams are actually the ones that need quarterbacks. So you're in a situation. The last time I checked, I might be wrong, but there's at
You're right.
least three teams that need quarterback, and
Mhm.
there might be a possibility where Shooter is there at number 6.
Right. And then there's also that factor too, though, where Sanders did. He came out and said, "My son will not play for a couple of teams, and
Mhm.
that's going to be the Browns
Mhm.
and and the Titans." And I don't think he's going.
Bang!
So that's kind of why where I kind of think like, oh,
When they pick 1 and 3, guys.
like he may actually fall to us. So if Dion, if he would have a son be like, all right, yeah, okay, he's going there, he's drafted, it's good, okay, he's happy, he's proud, go out there and do it, then it'd be a different, thing, right? But since he came out and said, well, my son ain't going here, he ain't going there, that's where I kind of have hope where it's like shit. Like now, I've always said I always like Cam Ward better than Sanders, but I don't think we have a chance to get Cam Ward unless
Mhm.
we trade up. But Sanders could fall to us without trading not a damn thing,
Mhm.
and I'd be super happy about that.
Yeah. So 1 is Tennessee, 2 Cleveland, and I think they're both on the Sanders no-go list.
Jacksonville's
Um,
up there too, right?
Jacksonville's 5th. They're not taking a quarterback.
And plus, I don't
But
think Dion would have a son go there either, right?
probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
Right.
But they got
Um,
sunshine, so why would they
they wouldn't
need
even look that way. They got
Shador?
sunshine.
Yeah,
Exactly. The Giants, I think, will be the first place, and I think
It's Cam Ward.
they're going to take Cam. I think the Giants will probably move from 3-1 to get Cam. That's what I think is going to happen. I think Tennessee is going to sit there at 3, knowing they can't take Shador and just take, Abdul Carter or somebody like that, right? Is a Tennessee Titans type pick. Cleveland will convince themselves of something ridiculous and mess it up because that's what Cleveland does. The New England Patriots will probably take Travis Hunter because they're the Patriots.
Sure. Yeah,
and then Jacksonville will probably just take a tackle, right? You're going to have some offensive line stability, right?
That is scary.
And then at 6,
a la Sanders.
So that's just, I've been saying this for a while. You know what I mean? But we'll see.
That Patriot situation is going to be scary.
Wait, how that happened again?
Because how?
I need the whiteboard for class.
But if the Raiders would have
so who's number one? Who's number one? Tennessee, right? Who they take?
Tennessee Titans trade back with the Giants to 3. The Giants get up to 1 and take Cam Ward. The Cleveland.
Okay, then who's number 2?
Cleveland.
And who they get?
And Sanders ain't going
something
to
dumb.
Cleveland.
Something dumb? Like, so you tell me Travis and Shador on the board and they're going to pass on.
Who's the quarterback that comes flying up the board between now and then that probably isn't worthy? They'll probably take Jackson Dart at 2. That sounds like a Cleveland thing. Not to besmirch Jackson Dart. I don't know he's going to be bad. But if he goes to Cleveland, he will be. Cleveland is going to Cleveland.
All right, then who's 3?
3 at that point is Tennessee. Tennessee knows that Deion say no because you fired Carthon, and he publicly talked about that. Wow, they had the number 1 pick.
Titans might draft T-Mac because I've got a feeling that they might go with him. So receiver, maybe.
I don't think they believe in Levis.
Their AJ Brown replacement,
but we'll see. New England is 4. They're going to take
Travis Hunter,
the quarterback.
Travis is not going 4. If Travis Hunter go 4th, then
I think the personal problem stuff, man.
What? You know what? Maybe it's a good thing I didn't get a team and all the stuff because when I was a little kid, I wanted to have my own team. You know what I mean? I really did. It was like, damn, until I realized what it required to get one. But I can't see in a world where Travis Hunter don't go number 1. I don't, unless they trade back. Unless they do trade back because they like, we don't want him. We want to get Cam before one of these other teams do. I get that. But then you going to leave Travis Hunter to end up going to Cleveland. He gonna be pissed.
Oh, no. I think you're right. Oh, my God. They're going to pass and not get a quarterback and take Travis Hunter and ruin that man's life.
Yeah, ruin his life.
I'll tell you this. There is a I don't know how it'll play out, but there is where Travis Hunter can also say no. Because Travis Hunter, unlike I believe Shador, I think Travis Hunter has another year left to his college career.
He does.
So he could say, I'm just gonna go back.
And win 2 Heismans, like he said, because he did get mad at who was that got that $10 million NIL.
Quinn Ewers.
He was like, man, he giving him $10 million. He said, I want $100 million in. He said, I'll come back and win 2 Heismans. That's what Travis Hunter said. So, hey, you got a point. Like, if I was going to Cleveland, I'd be like, the hell I am.
And also, I'll say this too. Travis Hunter is also Deion's son. So Deion might say, hey,
nope, you ain't going there.
Y'all might not want to pick my boy.
My son ain't going there.
He ain't playing no Cleveland. It's too cold in Cleveland.
And,
Y'all ain't never won in
and some
Cleveland.
people
Your uniform's
forget
ugly.
that. Some people
You
forget
know,
how close, saying
they
Dion
are.
and
Yeah,
Travis are,
that whole thing
where
is. Yeah.
Dion actually calls some shots
Hmm.
on, for Hunter.
Yeah. This is what I thought too, Tribe. I thought, but then I started listening to these scouts, um, and they're just finding ways to pick at this and that and this and that and Jackson Dart, and I love me some. What's the kid from Clemson or whatever, Syracuse? Somebody. Yeah, they just kind of. I hear it, man. I'm telling you.
So Shador go to the combine and be inaccurate, right? Run a
Yeah,
4.8, run a
he ran
4.8,
a 4.7.
4.7.
They're like, I just didn't like how he looked in
See,
the
I told you he was a
combine.
second round. And
Mhm.
he'll drop the 6. He'll drop the
Watch.
6 in.
And then they're like, oh my God, Jackson Dart just tore up the Senior Bowl. He's so coachable.
Right.
He's throwing darts all over. I mean, no pun intended. But he's throwing darts everywhere.
No, they're gonna say that. People have already said that. Dart throws darts.
You really, really, really think they're gonna want to let that double black quarterback thing happen?
Hey, but you know what though? It's very rare that people pick the first 6 picks in the draft, like for real. No matter who on the board. Like you said, something always happens. Just like I picked that upset last week with the Redskins. I started off saying like there's always an upset in these games. So which one is it? So like you said, like when in this pick, I could see like you saying Cleveland picking somebody weird because people like we ain't playing there, cousin.
And they're
They ain't nothing
Cleveland.
to do in Cleveland, and y'all garbage. Well, they're not garbage, but
well, we beat them. So
I don't think Cleveland's garbage at all. Like when you
no,
look
they're
at
not
their
garbage, but they Cleveland.
when you look at their roster, like the people that they draft, like their roster is really not that bad. I don't know what goes on
No, that's
within
true.
the front office and their head coaching that they can't get these guys together. Because there were some guys that went to Cleveland, and I'm like, man, I wish we would have picked them up. You know what
They
I'm
don't
saying?
have no
So
quarterback.
they got
they
talent over
never
there. They just can't put it together.
they don't know what to do with the quarterback position. They realize that they can't draft it, right?
Right.
So they tried to sign one and gave him like $1 bajillion, but he was
Because they thought
alleged
that was going to be a
sex offender.
steal.
I think the last good quarterback they had was Bernie Kosar, and that's way back. Like a long time ago. But
Like I said, Brian,
anyways,
Vinny wasn't bad. Vinny Testaverde, come on.
Brian Sipe.
Bernie Kosar, baby. Anyways, look, we're over 3 hours in the chat. It's time to bring this Wild West wagon train home. Before I go, I just want to say my picks here. I'm still standing with my picks for tomorrow's game. I'm the only outcast on the picks that was chosen, if you saw last week. So I'm remaining with my picks. Eagles will get the win, and the Bills are going to get the Chiefs. So I just want to ride out to the sunset there with the picks that I have made.
Well, we both went opposite of that. They're not going to let the Chiefs lose. No. I mean, I don't care how much Josh tries to hero ball that shit out. It's just not happening. They'll find a way. And I just feel like Jaden's not done, man. It doesn't feel like that story's over to me. It's just,
Black sold it to you, brother. He sold you that water.
He didn't. I was already feeling it. Like he could tell. He knew. He knows my face, man. And I was like, my mind is telling me one thing, right? But my body.
That man's singing in jail right now.
That boy got new songs that we ain't heard. I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm telling you, they for real.
No, that's a great story, and all that. But
it's gonna end after next week. But I'm just saying,
come to an end, and their
Five is right. The Scouts are trying to
storybook
pump
season.
up
It's
Dart and Howard
that
every
book's gonna
show
go
you see.
Anyways, Raider Chuan, who you got
What's your
for
picks?
the games, brother?
Yeah, let's go.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
okay.
I got an eagle here with me.
Fly,
Okay.
Eagles, fly.
And Chiefs, please.
And I don't believe that Josh Allen can beat two teams.
Mm.
One team wears red, and the
Mhm.
other team wears black and white.
Great take. Great take. Great take. Yeah,
I will
said
have
the same
I
thing
will
too.
have a live on that next week.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Great work. Yeah, man.
Well, there's the picks, and all of them are different except for me and my buddy Sam. I am.
Is
So
the
they're
Bills
all
a
on the
better team?
Chiefs. They're all on the
Yes.
Chiefs, and there's only one person who has the Eagles choice, as I do. So I ain't the only outcast on that game.
I don't know, man. I just
Me
have
neither.
you seen Jaden Daniels? I don't
I'm
Oh
know,
just saying.
man.
no. Trust me,
Hey,
it's great. Trust me, he is exciting. He was exciting to watch.
no,
I'm
see,
also
go
go
ahead.
ahead, Black.
Oh,
No,
go
the
ahead.
reason why I'm saying fly equals fly is because I feel like in the Super Bowl,
Hmm.
the team that could give the Chiefs a running for their, you know what I'm saying, for their money, it would be the Eagles. I don't think Jaden Daniels will have enough. He's talented. I love Jaden Daniels. I want him to be a Raider, but I don't think he has that jump, you know what I'm saying, to take him all the way to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. I think it would be,
Win.
you know,
Hey, we didn't say win.
Hey,
Right.
the narrative would be, oh, Jaden Daniels was a rookie. He wasn't mature. He wasn't ready for, you know what I'm saying, the lights of the Super Bowl. And that's what's going to be the
Right.
narrative of beat writers. So
right.
that's why I would go with the Eagles, because the Eagles have been there. You know what I'm saying? And I think if you know if there was a twist in, you know, what I think the referees are trying to shape and mold, it would come from the Eagle side.
So I'll just say
Mhm.
this here: the Eagles and the Washington Commanders, right? All the pressure is on the Eagles. The Commanders are playing on house money right now, so no pressure is on Jaden Daniels because guess what? If they lose, it's like, oh, you know what, man? Hey, it's cool. It's his first year, blah blah blah. But all the pressure is on the Eagles right now because the Eagles have been there, they've done that, right? So I understand, the whole thing with Jaden Daniels and all that, right? But this is how I see Jaden Daniels. He is like an old train where you're throwing coal on that.
Mhm.
He's gonna run out of coal tomorrow.
Mm.
Hey, y'all seen that boy? Y'all see that Hurts is hurt, right? Y'all see him limping in the whole nine, right?
They
Painful
just
strain.
announced that he's fully healthy and ready to go
Yeah,
earlier today.
Fully
you can say what
healthy.
you want to say.
Right.
They gonna hit
Yeah.
him with that Toradol, and he gonna go out there and he gonna look normal until he get hit a couple times. Remember when I say this? When they stop doing that little tush push, just know they right there. They about to crack. Don't stop, because I'm telling you, if that defense is opportunistic like they've been acting, Jalen Hurts is gonna have an issue, and that's why they're gonna lose tomorrow. Is because of Jalen Hurts is hurt.
Well, I will say this: one of us is gonna say, "I told you so," on the following, show. So that is for sure. And
It's a good test.
if I'm wrong, I always say I'm wrong, and you know what I mean. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I can't wait. Can't wait. Just like Bart Scott said, can't wait. Can't
He
wait.
said, "Can't wait." Well, we shall see, huh? It's going to be an exciting time. as this stuff starts to wind down, we start to get some more answers about who coaches where and all that good stuff. Um, and yes, I think the Eagles is going to try to crack Jaden Daniels, and that might be their mistake. They like to be aggressive.
Tribe. I covered all that, and I'm gonna be that silent man who just keeps my mouth shut, and I'm gonna wait till the game plays, and we'll see. We'll see.
I don't think you can blitz this rookie. Put it that way.
You can't blitz him, but you can pick him off.
They're gonna
But
come
that
out.
comes from making bad decisions, though.
You don't. Okay, look.
He ain't been making a bunch of them.
They'll bring pressure to him for sure.
Yeah,
and that
right.
Eagles and that Eagles defense,
they are nice.
they're really, really nice.
Has Jaden Daniels
really nice.
had a really big rushing performance so far on national TV? Yeah.
Not a big one, but he had. Yeah, well, I won't say big one. Well, I'll say mid.
So
like,
look,
he's consistent. Like,
what if
I ain't hating on him? I ain't hating on
No, I don't think you hating on him.
I'm just saying. I just think that the Eagles will win. That's all I'm saying. Daniels is fucking great. Like he is. Like I wish he was our guy. You know what I mean? Like
Look, I'm not even factoring that he a rookie. I'm just looking at how he played. I'm just looking at strictly like at how he playing, and I'm sitting here like, okay, they trying to find a way to crack this kid, right? And every way they throwing at him, he just being like, oh, you coming with that? I'm coming with this. You coming with that? I'm coming with this. He's just like, he's not tripping.
If they're gonna blitz him and play man, he might just run for 150 yards.
Man, McLaurin go crazy. That boy catch everything.
McLaurin gonna get shut down. Look,
just stay off the safe side of the field.
Look, I ain't gonna do no further talkie. I'm gonna do just some watchy.
Watchy. You can walkie or talkie. Man, right. I think, man, we're gonna see the game tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
What time?
We will see.
Because it is 1:12 a.m. So technically it's Saturday. So you're right.
What time the game come on?
Tomorrow is Sunday.
No, don't they have one game each day, or am I tripping?
No, I think it's going to be 1 at 12 and then 1 at 3, if I'm correct.
Okay.
Both games?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to do it like how they did last weekend.
The double Sunday, both on Sunday. Let's look at the schedule, folks, and then we'll get out of here. So
yep, it's at 12 and at 3 Sunday.
Okay, and there you go. We are back to grown-up time, folks. Games are on Sunday. We're gonna double header it.
Wait, say that again?
Information. I said the games are on Sunday. We're on grown-up time again. Sunday, double header.
So it's no games today?
No games today.
Oh, my feelings is
Well, you guys have the chance to watch it all at the comfort of your homes. I will be working overtime on Sunday, unfortunately. So.
Working overtime.
Get that money.
Hardest working man on YouTube.
If not me, who, man? I gotta
keeping our schools usable and clean and doing it behind children.
Yeah, and look, I gotta say this here too. So, parents, to all you parents out there watching, if you have kids who go to high school, if you haven't, teach them proper bathroom and classroom etiquette, please. Etiquette. It goes a long way. It goes a long way. It goes a long way. Don't tell your kids to eat lunch in the bathroom. It's nasty. There's nasty bacteria and particles floating all in there. Don't eat in the bathroom. Don't do that. Okay?
Why eating in the bathroom?
Because they're scared, okay?
They're scared. Hey, you know what? I ain't trying to get canceled, so I'm gonna just stop. But please don't teach them some etiquette because it comes from you, the parent. The parent teaches the kid how to act when they're at school. So when your kid's at school, they are a reflection of you.
Mm.
And that is what I have to say in the daily life of a high school custodian. All right.
Stop eating in the bathroom.
Yeah, kids. Just try to keep the food situation out of the bathroom if you can.
Don't clog toilets. Don't take the whole roll of don't undo the whole roll
Oh, they doing that on purpose.
and
Yeah.
throw it in the toilet and then go two on top of it. Don't put an apple in the bottom of the urinal and then pee on it.
Christ.
All right. So I know we're getting a little off track here, but I'm just trying to tell y'all. This is what I have to see while you drop off your kids at high school and you're at work. This is what some of your kids are doing in high school.
Come on, parents. Come on, man. We got to do better than that.
Let's bring the show home, baby.
Yeah, I got no segue for the bathroom etiquette thing. Except for we had a pretty shitty coach last year, so
He got flushed.
Yeah, he did.
Speaking of piss poor, our coaching last year. No,
Oh man, make sure you guys hit that like of the sub, man. We're almost 3.5 hours here. Who else is doing a live broadcast right now at 1:16 a.m.?
no one, because that's crazy.
Nobody.
So we should get out of here, guys. Anything else you wanted to say, Twan? As a guest, you get to go first before we get up out of here. Final thoughts,
man.
finishing.
Twan, my guy.
Am I plugging channel or just talking about the topics?
Everything. Plug
Everything,
the channel.
brother.
Okay, well,
Topics.
Everything.
I'm optimistic about what we have going with the Raiders. It's not a complete project. We're not done yet. For those that are excited about Pete Carroll, it's okay to be excited about that, but there has to be more than that. He's not the sole reason as to why we were going to win games. He's not the sole reason why we will be going to the Super Bowl. It's going to take more than just the head coach. We're going to need a good offense coordinator and a good defense coordinator, and that's still on the market for us. So keep your eyes out for that. I think now we can start looking at drafts a little more closer because we know what kind of style Pete Carroll likes to run. We know what his tendencies are just based off of what we've seen in years past. So go ahead and feel free to go to the mock drafts and start drafting like in the tone of Pete Carroll, and you might be pleased of where the team will be built and where it will go. For my channel, Raider Twan on YouTube, definitely go ahead and check that out. Raider, for everybody that's a Raider fan, you should know how to spell Raider. I'm not here to teach you that. I think you went to elementary school and learned your ABCs. So go ahead and type in Raider and Twan, TWUAN. Okay, so TWUAN. My channel is there for you. I'm actually out of town, so that's why you see me kind of, not as stable as possible, but I will be back in the studio next week, bringing to you a whole bunch of content. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. That's right, 500 subscribers. We are on our way to 500 subscribers. I think we're at 426 at this moment. So
Nice.
you can just
Let's
pretty
get him to
much say
five.
you can pretty much say I started from the bottom and I'm still there. So you can go ahead and help me and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Why? Because I like you. And remember, you're a blessing. Be a blessing to someone else.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That was
That's
beautifully said, man.
Oh,
How
yeah.
good you go to the channel right now? Go,
do it.
don't think about it. Go there right now.
It's poetry. Get
Do it.
some poetry in your life that has to do with the Raiders. All right. That's what that man is. Black, what you got?
And I'll see y'all next week once the Redskins win this game, man.
You don't even call them the Commanders, they're Redskins.
He
I
said
ain't mad
Hey,
at him.
skins. Lots of people been doing
I
that,
do the same
man.
thing. I do the same thing. I still, dude. I call games and I say, well, they're going to be 10-7, but then I forget there's an extra game. You know what I mean? So I'm old school too, man.
I was born in Washington, D.C. My dad was in the military. I was born in Washington, D.C.
Mm.
So that's like really my second team,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Nice.
because I was born at Walter Reed Hospital where the presidents used to go and all that. It ain't there no more, though, but yeah.
They
So
got rid of Walter Reed. I didn't know
yeah, they
that.
tore that down, you know. I think they put a new one up there, you know, a new version of it or whatever. But I'm going to see y'all next week. It's nighttime. Steph
It's
Curry, night.
time.
Night
Well,
night.
go ahead
Night glow.
and hit that link. I'm putting my dogs in the chat so y'all can find them. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you go check them out. Go check out the pages.
Definitely.
Go hit
Yeah.
that sub button. You know what I'm saying? Give them
Go there right now and do it.
They drops heat, like real heat. You know what I'm saying? Like you heard this tonight. That's not the kind of stuff you hear just every day. You know, people get real here.
You hear every day.
You would have found out a long time ago who our head coach was going to be if you would just
For
listen to
real.
Boy Western, right?
For real.
I mean, we ain't saying nothing, but some you already knew, right? Come on now. So go check him out. You're there now, maybe. So if you're there now, then I'm being repetitive and stuff. But if you are there now and you haven't subscribed, then what the hell are you doing?
For real. Go there and
Like,
sub.
sub up. Sub up.
Western
I'm
says sub right now.
There you go. Westradamus says sub up. So you must sub up. Okay, here's the link. Make it easy. Y'all got all the links in the chat now. Make it easy for y'all. What's up, Jack?
Jack Hanna.
Thanks for coming by. One of the OGs of this piece.
So
But yeah,
before we sign out, I gotta say my little bit here.
That's right.
So I
It's
just
your
want to say
part,
first
man.
off, thanks to our guest for being here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been watching this stuff for a long time, and he definitely deserves more subs than what he has now for the content that he does have out. So I want to give a shout out to him, and and the outlets that he's on too, because I've seen him do great work.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have to say, back to the whole thing as our guest was saying to Pierce and our brand new coach, Pete Carroll, right? So now look, I ain't hating on Pierce by saying this, right? But look, Antonio Pierce is like those project cars you find on Facebook that's like $600 that requires a lot of work to get it going. It's salvage title, all that shit, right? But with Pete Carroll, it's a complete running drivable car as soon as you get in there. It's a turnkey. It's get in and go. It's not a big flashy car like an IROC Z or anything like that, right? But I will just say we did a major upgrade going from Antonio Pierce to Pete Carroll. So I'm very, very happy. I'm excited with that. I just got to call it how I see it. You can't think with your heart. You got to think with the charts on certain things, right? And that does apply to most of the things that I say, because you got to think, on the full aspect of all things of the aspect, right? And make sure you see the Chiefs lose. You'll see Taylor Swift with that long ass back up there in the booth.
Damn.
You'll just see back. You just look up and then you just see this long ass back.
There.
So you gotta,
I think the Swifties are asleep, so we might be okay.
keep an eye out for that there. And how I always like to say, go check out my content. I just dropped a brand new breakdown Great video about Cam Ward. I'm doing a bunch more, going forward. This might be the last year that I do actual breakdowns because I'm so busy with work and tied up. So make sure you look.
Grab it while you can.
It ain't for sure yet, but go watch it while you can because I'm gonna just focus going forward a lot more doing on live stuff here because it's just straight boom. I could shoot straight and it's done, right? But with the breakdowns and all that, it's hard. And when I got a family and my work and all that, it's hard because it takes time, and to go in those breakdowns. So make sure you go check it out. Go like our stuff, like my channel. Go to my channel, sub. I don't ask, for a bunch of things, but hey, a sub and a like would be great. And if not, hey, it's cool. F you to get out of here. But on that note, as I always like to say, keep it cool, keep it light, keep it fresh.
There you go.
I'm Western Confrence, also known as Dub C or Wild Wild West.
Oh,
Let's go.
Big ass world, right? The whole world, right?
So, guys, I mean, you know how I feel. This has been one of the more positive stretches for the Raiders in a long while. And I think Mr. Brady has something to do with it. Okay, so I feel like this is the time where we can start to do the thing that I think we always should have been doing, which is stay positive. Because, what the hell else are you going to do, right?
Oh, one other thing I have to say. When I got home from work, I believe it was yesterday, I saw the after hours show that you and Black did. And I got to say, that shit is great content too. So make sure y'all go check that out too, because that is some super fire stuff for adults only. Okay. You got to be
that's what you're talking about?
18 and over to watch
right.
that. And I was watching that and I'm cracking up, man. I am laughing. And it's good shit, man. So make sure you go check that out. But you got to be 18 or above because it's for
Water Park After Dark.
It's for grown
Sub
folks.
to my boy EBH's channel, and you'll find me on there saying things I can't say here.
You can.
And of course, hot. You know what I mean? He has some great stuff too, man. So we all have great content and good stuff that we share, and it's from different aspects because we have different minds here. So go check it out.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for that shout out. That's real. Come check us out at Water Park. Especially if you're a man's person and you're trying to learn how to be a better man's person.
Right, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Because I am. But yeah, I mean, we try to keep it positive over there, right? Because staying positive is how good things happen.
True.
So we're staying positive here, even when things are difficult, even when our coach isn't great, because staying positive is how good things happen, right? Now, the other thing is you got to read in between the lines, guys. That's where it's happening, right in between those lines, okay? Like this, like that, right? And the most important thing you got to do is stay hot. Right?
Shout out to Jack Kennel. Raiders.
Good night now.
Peace, because I'm going to write it out.
Let's see, guys. Man.
Thanks for the sub.
Let's keep subbing. Get us there, guys.
We'll get there.
Get those numbers.